Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, sorry, mother is a little under the weather, so I apologize. I was not live last night. I said I was going to come on today and just give y'all a piece of mother's mind, honey. Oh my God. So I have not watched a lot of boxing this week, and I've just been kind of trying to get myself together from what I could see, peek at. I wanted to kind of talk to some of y'all about. It's not gonna be a whole bunch because, like I said, I'm not really feeling that great. But I'm gonna try and get through this. At least give y'all something because I probably the way my damn voice feel. I don't know how many videos I'll be able to make either. So first of all, hello everybody. Happy Sunday. Um, there's a lot going on that I really wanted to just kind of address. A few things I saw that I was just like, what in the hell is going on? Some things just wasn't making a lot of sense to me. And then some things was just kind of like, oh my goodness, what is going on? They must have known mother was under the weather, honey. They tried to get out here and act a damn fool. They must have known I was under the weather. They just started acting like they crazy, didn't they? Lord have mercy. My. So I'ma just boil through this. Hey Lee, what's going on, Cam? Sorry, y'all. Like I said, man, I ain't been feeling that great, but we here. Let's do it. Um, let me see. First, where do I want to go? Obviously, it's not gonna be a whole bunch because we were just here Thursday, and I know that you know, from what I can understand, not really a lot has been going on, or maybe my ass was sleep high on NyQuil. Who the hell knows? But I did see a few things that I was like, wait a goddamn minute. Um, now, listen, I just basically wanted to give the people that won over the weekend that I was able to see their flowers. Um, I know Najee won. I know Fundora won. You know what I'm saying? Fundora, let me tell y'all something about Gabby, man. Good God, that girl. Oh, she vicious. But nevertheless, first up we're gonna do Najee. Did I have his clip, child? Let me see if I can find it. I told y'all mother is all over the damn place, child. I don't know what is happening. I feel like Bill Haney. I don't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So goodness gracious on the cross. I do know he won his fight, that pro box fight. I'm trying to see if I could at least get a little graphic. Child, I thought I downloaded that video. See what I'm saying? Mm-mm-mm. Boy, that medication is something. Okay, let me see what I got here. Anywho, honey, that Pro Box card, from what I understand, was something to see. He definitely pulled it out for sure. So definitely shout out to him. Blood was everywhere from what I can understand from the clips that I seen online. I was like, oh my goodness, this was good. Mother got to go back and catch that. But let me see. Where is it? Because y'all know I'm on the YouTube probation child. They got mother on the fisticuffs because y'all know I love to play me a clip, don't I? So I gotta be careful with which clips I play from now on. Somebody told me how to do it, but I just still gotta be able to find, I guess, the right versions of the clip so I don't get in trouble because, mother walks a fine line with the YouTube people. They be on my ass. I definitely got to make sure. But at least, okay, here go a little graphic at least, child. Y'all can see what it is that we talking about. This was Friday night's Pro Box card. Down in Florida, I think Lopez goes in there. What was this boy named Manuel something? He had 22 fights, I guess 19 knockouts. So it definitely wasn't like a hand-picked opponent. This seemed to have been a real test. And he passed. It was a eighth round TK, I believe it was. So Lopez is now 16-0 with the 13 knockouts. But it wasn't pretty. Boy, it wasn't pretty up in there. I think it was like a headbutt in round like 2 or something. That's how I think we see the blood with the cut. I think that was a cut over his eye, but that usually happens like when you got two different stances and it's like always coming in for the punches. For whatever reason, these boys stay getting these damn gashes and glashes over their eye and whatnot. So anyway, that's how he started bleeding. I think round 7 he even got dropped. So y'all know, but what happened, and he got back up and he started throwing even harder in round 8. So he definitely pulled it off and he definitely deserved it. So Shout out to him for sure. What's next for him? Um, who knows? He picked up what is that? The Continental Americas belt and the Latin belt. So those are good wins. That's good for his resume. Um, I think he's ranked what, number 7 in the IBF. Number no, what was it? The WBA, I think it is. And then I think it's like number 13th in the IBF. The WBC, I think he's like number 14 or 15 at light heavyweight. So he needs to crack that top 5, obviously, in at least one of these organizations to get into like mandatory territory. I mean, what is he, like 26 years old? He's got some time, but obviously when you're like one of these guys where you're like high risk and low reward, they're gonna play with you. You know what I'm saying? But he keep working hard. He'll be able to crack one of them niggas in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? But that's that's pretty much where he's at in the situation. And I always feel like that anyway with some of these pro box boys. Like some of them to me is better than a lot of these guys that we see, like, on the main cards. But sometimes they're not always promoted properly, or they don't have really the machine behind them in order to, elevate and take it to the next level without some sort of push. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens for him moving forward. So now let's talk about the lady, Miss Gabrielle Fondora. I think I did get her clip. I think I saved her clip. Let me see. Because Gabby ain't no joke, man. Here we go. Yes, honey. Look at Miss Gabrielle Fondora, honey. Gabby is not a joke. Okay. This was Saturday night's card. Gabrielle Fondor, she's undisputed. She's at flyweight. She is champion on the world. She put on for us yet again. She stopped Vivian Ruiz in I think the 6th round. This is now making her 18-0 with 10 knockouts. So we definitely got to give it up for Gabby. She listen, Gabrielle Fondora is nothing to play with, yo. I'm not sure who's next for her, or what even could be next for her. I think she's like, what is she, 5'9"? She's a southpaw. She's little as hell. She fights at what, 112 pounds. She weighed in at what, 110 after eating like a full breakfast. Like, this is insane. Her and her brother, they're like complete unfair specimens of humans. I'll tell you that damn much. So I don't know, but shout out to Gabby, man, for sure, for sure. Look at her. Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ on the cross. Let me how they play. But anyway, she dropped Louise, she battered her into submission and did it all while apparently responding to critics who called her flat-footed. In her last fight against, I think Sergio Moro was so flat-footed. So she came out Saturday. And she showed him, you know what I'm saying? She ain't flat-footed. She's a student of the game. 6 knockouts and 7 championships fights. So shout out to Gabby, man. I was thinking like what could be next for her. Honestly, that's I guess the problem with like being this dominant, especially in her position. Like, who do you call out? Like, there's no one, I guess, close, like in the flyweight division right now. She eventually wants to move down, she said, like to 108. Like, that's crazy. um it's gonna be terrible for that division if she does. But for now, I think she has an eye on the WBO championship ring. You get that after I think 5 successful defenses. So I think she's at what now, 3. So 2 more and she gets the ring. Then maybe we'll see, if she's going to drop down to strawweight, and just take over another division entirely. Gabby is definitely a generational talent. She's great. I don't want to see her move down though. Like, do y'all want to see her move down, or do y'all want to see her move up? Like, I don't really. When I heard that she might be moving down, I was like, why the hell is she moving down? That don't really make a lot of sense to me. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see what she does. Moving forward, she's really great. I don't want to see her move down though, because I feel like the competition, I don't know. I have to look at some of the smaller weight classes. I mean, good God, grown women weighing 110 pounds, child, what in the hell is happening? But we're gonna see, I guess, as she progresses what she decides to do. But overall, I think that was just amazing. Her performance was amazing, nothing short of amazing. So I really have nothing, bad to say about Gabby. Um, I've always been a fan of hers, though. She doesn't really get a lot of, I guess, I don't want to say attention because we all know who she is, but it's kind of like, it's almost kind of like, well, where are the challenges? You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to see, I guess, what happens moving forward. Now, there are some other things that I saw that I'm going to address, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail as we get into the show. Hopefully I can make it. But I saw this, and I'm gonna play that video because I do have the video. Ryan Garcia and Keyshawn going back and forth, and I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on that too. There was some things said, honey, during this little face off, which I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to play because of the background music. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna have to mute it maybe, and then I'll play it, and then I'll talk about what's going on in that whole thing. But they saw each other at a Miami party and exchanged some words. So we're gonna get a little bit further into detail with that. Um and I have this video too. Bill Haney is running around here talking about signing the contracts that Ryan is still has not signed the contract when them themselves have not signed the Rolly contract. So we're gonna I'm so tired of Bill. Is anybody else tired of Bill? I am tired of Bill Haney. Goodness gracious. Oh, shout out to Arnold Barbosa. He won his fight as well. And then he also called out Keyshawn and the other champion. So we're gonna see what kind of moves he makes moving forward to who the hell knows. But let me let me see who up in here before I move forward. I said hi to Cam. Leah supposed to leave. Oh my goodness. Hey Opulent. Hey baby, how you doing? Uh hey Gabe, how you doing? No more sleepwalking. Hey baby. Hey Brian. All right. Yeah, it's a little under the weather. I don't know what's going on. This it's like it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then the other day I went outside, I thought I was cute. I ain't had no coat on. And then I don't know. I woke up yesterday, thought I was transforming into a damn man or something the way my voice was sounding. So I was like, oh no, I didn't know what was happening. My throat was burning. It's still like a little scratchy and irritated, but whatever. Happy Sunday, Star. Hey girl, you know what? I'm so glad you're here, Star, because I was gonna get on to I was just talking about Bill. I didn't play the video yet of him. I guess we can get into that. Oh, let me run through real quick just the upcoming fights and then we'll go into that because I want to talk about that whole foolishness. But anyway, so obviously the Jao Patai is done. The Dixon card was last night. Arnold Barbosa, obviously, we saw Gabby. Up next on the 21st, we have Carlos Adames. On the 28th, Moses, that's my boy, he back up in there. And then also on the 28th, Sebastian Fundora. And then I always forget to move my ticker so I could talk about this last damn Frank Sanchez. Oh, let me tell you something. For that Keith Thurman card, right? Sanchez and Torres have been pulled. I did post that on my community page about Sanchez. He's suffering some sort of inflammation after his knee surgery. So the card obviously moves up, like the co-main um event is going to be what was going to be the co-main. So all the fights just basically move up a slot for that particular card. So we'll see what happens with Sanchez and how he progresses moving forward. Hope his little knee get better, child. I don't know what is going on with these people. So that's the upcoming fights. We did the news. Now let's get into some of this shit, y'all. Because like I said, they must have smelt that mother was under the weather. I don't know where I want to start and who do I want to start with first because yikes, we got some shit going on. All right, let's start with Rolly. Let's start with Rolly, and then I'll tie the rest of the shit in to yeah, okay. So Rolly and Devin. Okay, I'm gonna start here.
Where does Haney rate on, I guess, the Rolly ranking system on, as far as a skilled fighter or a guy you respect on what he does, or does it depend on if he signs the contract for the fight?
Haney on Twitter, there's no respect. Haney in person, he doesn't speak. So I mean, he's just a chill kid. Devin Haney is like a rock. Devin Haney, he's right there. You could place the rock right there. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't say anything. He's just there. You can't like him. You don't hate him, but you don't like him. He's just there, you know? Now, Devin Haney on Twitter, you know, because he's a keyboard warrior, he think he's a big tough guy, so on the internet, but then in person, he's just the most quiet person I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of that, like you mentioned earlier, where you've gotten to at this level of the sport, what do you think that's different about you on what you know and other guys don't know as far as selling a fight, marketing yourself?
You want to sell a fight? Don't talk about boxing. That's the number one way to destroy a fight. Talk about boxing. The only way that you can sell fights by talking about, you know, you see a push or a shove or people just, you know, but really honestly talking about, oh, this guy's prediction, but nobody cares about this guy's prediction for this fight or that fight, man. Talk about other stuff. Create a brand. Talk about things. Talk about Pokemon cards or talk about investments or ideologies or whatever goes on that isn't boxing. Because boxing only appeals to a boxing fan base. How do you grow the sport? You bring it to people that don't watch boxing.
Where does Haney rate?
So listen, right? He had a bunch to say about Devin that no one really cares about. The most important thing I hope that y'all caught, right? I don't know if I probably was too close to it. He said that Devin still has not signed that goddamn contract. So what is the holdup is what I really want to know, right? Now, I did see Bill, obviously, I told y'all last weekend that Sean Haney was going to be participating in the Mike Tyson invitation over this weekend, which he did, right? And Bill obviously is being Bill, and he's all over the place with his promotion of himself and his son and everything else he got going on. So I'm going to play y'all these clips. This is the first one. Here he go pushing another narrative.
Shout out to Mike Tyson and the Mike Tyson Invitational. What a wonderful event he put on. And what a great opportunity for an ultimate grudge match between the Haneys and the Garcias. I'm very proud of Sean. He put on a hell of a performance. And I'm looking forward to now, on May 30th, here in Las Vegas, Devin beating up Rolly Romero. But guess what? We can get the rematch with the Garcias too in September after we tighten up Rolly Romero, inshallah. And guess what? We're signed up for VADA right now. Ryan, you get your ass in there too, and let's make this thing happen. Shout out to Mike Tyson and the Mike Tyson Invitational. What a wonderful event he put on. And what a great opportunity for an ultimate grudge match between the Haneys and the Garcias. I'm very proud of Sean. He put on a hell of a performance. And I'm looking forward to now, on May 30th, here in Las Vegas, Devin beating up Rolly.
All right. So obviously you heard Bill saying that Sean put on an amazing performance. So Sean Haney and Ryan Garcia's cousin, what is that little boy name? Jacob Herrera. They are now 1-1. Now, from what I was watching and from what I've been hearing people say, now they're saying that Herrera was robbed. I don't know what the hell is going on, okay? But I do know that they rematched at the invitation, and now they are 1-1. And this is what happened after the fight. Y'all have to pay close attention because it's like background noise. I try not to get too much of it. I couldn't really enhance their voices, but just listen to. This is Herrera's brother and Bill and Sean.
Shake on it. 21 though. 25. 21 and then you get the 5-pound weight class.
5-pound weight class, that's cool. I say how real boxer does it.
So you're fighting next?
I'm a real boxer, man. I'm not playing. They play with my little brother like that. I don't care about no.
Bill, what are you saying?
Listen, are you going to post it?
I'm posting.
Are you going to tell the truth? I'll tell you this then.
Yes.
Yeah, Rolly Romero's next, May the 30th. And then in September, if Ryan wants to rematch, let's do it.
What, Jacob's brother?
No. Beat him. Devin is going to beat the shit out of Rolly Romero on May 30th. and Ryan Garcia, September. Stop ducking. You know we've been looking to make this shit happen. Let's enroll in Bada now.
Hey, Bill, I want to fight your son.
Which one? Which one?
130.
Well, which one?
Huh?
Okay, listen. I got this.
17.
Listen, my sons are going through the whole family. We got another brother up, and he can get it too. It doesn't matter. It's us against the Garcias. It's up.
We need 3. My name's Herrera. I ain't no Garcia. I'm a Herrera. I'm just saying. They scared. He said weight cause. He wants me to go down to 121. He know I'm a bigger fighter. He's scared. He know I'll put him out.
Want that smoke? Give my son
the smoke.
Give my son the smoke. Give him the smoke. Tell him you want that smoke. That Haney smoke.
I'm just saying. He wants a weight cause. You heard it too. I don't care. I will drop down. I'll still put belts to ass. Don't play with me.
So right now they're 1-on-1 on the record book. Should they have a tiebreaker?
Tiebreaker? They could have it on Ryan and Devin's card, but before that, I want to fight Sean. I don't care what weight it's at. I'll drop it. He's my height. I'm his height. There's no problem with me dropping that
How many
weight.
fights you got so far?
I got 11 fights. I'm 17. He's 16. About to turn 17. My little brother's 14 years old, and they just robbed him. And I'm not gonna cuss or nothing, but I don't condone that. I'm telling you, I'm putting his son out. Hey, I'm telling you, I want to fight. I want to fight you in this fight right now.
Nah, that was a great fight.
Eric? I don't mess with that. Oh, Eric put him to sleep. Everybody boo. They know. I know. He just told me he wants a weight cause on me if I'm going to fight him. He said I'm too big. I told him I'll drop down his weight.
What weight are you? First round?
I fought at 138. I fought at 132 before. He said 125. I don't mind doing that. You know who I am? I knock people out.
So what's your Instagram, by the way? If we're gonna message.
How was it to be in there?
Eric _ Hey, honestly, that's my fight like I won. I feel like
You know you won.
everyone in this crowd knows I won.
You heard that big, you heard everybody booing when the announcement came. We heard him in this fight multiple times.
The judges, I looked at the judges, they
All
looked
from
away.
Nevada.
They
All the
looked
judges.
away.
All from Nevada.
All the judges looked away. Yeah.
Five judges.
Okay, so listen, on paper it's 1-1. Would you do a tiebreaker now? Third one?
He needs that. He needs that.
Turkey, let's go.
Yeah, Turkey.
Okay, so a few things, right, to take away from that whole exchange. Obviously, what I didn't know was that that Sean Haney was fighting the younger Herrera. I just heard the older brother say that what's that boy name? Jacob is only 14 years old. I didn't know that. Now they're 1-1. We'll see what happens if they're gonna fight again. I mean, this whole family trilogy thing is like really disgusting. I don't know what is happening with them constantly fighting one another over and over and over again, but it is what it is. I'm gonna keep an eye on this to see if the older brother actually gets in there to squabble up with Sean, since he is more or less Sean's age. He did seem to have a little bit more body mass or whatever. He seemed a little stockier. Than the the younger brother, but that was interesting to me that he was only 14 years old, the younger brother. And from the first fight that I saw, it didn't look like a robbery. It looked like it was what it was. I can't find any footage on this second fight. I only saw like the invitational, and I saw their like face off or whatever the case may be. I haven't been able to get my hands on any of the footage from the actual fight yet to give my analysis on whether or not it was indeed a robbery. But they sometimes call close fights a robbery. I don't know what the hell they got going on, if I'm being honest, but I just thought that was extremely interesting. At the invitational, they did fight again. I knew that they were going to. The first time, yes, it appears that he did lose to a 14. Y'all, come on, man. I don't know why y'all don't behave. But yes, to answer your question directly, that appears to be what transpired the first time around. The second time, it looks like he got his lick back. I don't know if it was a little bit of greasing of the wheels. I don't know if y'all saw that goddamn smile on Bill's face. I don't know what's happening around here. But yes, baby, that is apparently what took place. But back to Devin and Rolly. I want to know what is happening with this contract. They've had this contract in their possession for over a week, and I understand you don't want to just sign anything all extra willy-nilly, but you're running around here telling people that this is what it is. So sign the contract and send the shit back. What you waiting for? What exactly are you waiting for? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I found I found that extremely interesting. Rolly, to me, he's kind of just like a straight shooter. He don't give a damn. Rolly gonna say what he got to say. He gonna pop his shit, but it's always gonna be truthful. You know what I'm saying? Rolly just doesn't seem like the type of person to me that just sits around and caps for no goddamn reason. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. He also has something to say about Ryan's performance against Barrios.
Ryan, a lot of people said maybe Ryan's done. He's not there anymore, but he looked far from done against Barrios.
I mean, it's just the opponent he fought, though. I got his number down. We could fight 1,000,000 times. I'll beat him 1,000,000 times.
I mean, you're a guy, even though you've been out, you've got, seems like a ton of options on the table. I mean, you could go to Ryan route. You got Conor Benn, who seems to want a piece of you.
No, Ryan ducked, Conor ducked, Pacquiao ducked. Another unnamed fighter I'm not going to bring up ducked. So, yeah.
Well, one guy you mentioned earlier who says he's chomping at the bit to fight you is WBO champion Devin Haney. He claims that he thinks this fight will happen. From your side, do you think the fight will happen?
I mean, we sent him a contract a week ago. He still hasn't signed it. Debo Dev. Everyone is scared of, but I mean, shoot, it ain't no fun when Rolly got the gun.
Ryan, a lot of people said maybe Ryan's done.
Talk about it, Rolly. Talk about it, baby. I don't know what's the holdup is. Like I said, there's always probably something in negotiations. Maybe they're looking for something else. I don't know. But Rolly, obviously he's ready. If they have a venue, they said that the offer was a good offer. I'm not really sure what the holdup is, but yet we have Bill running around here talking like it's definite. So then sign the contract. If it's definitely a done deal, then why haven't you signed that goddamn contract yet? I just don't understand some of these things that are taking place, but we'll see. I don't know if Devin is still weighing his options or what could be transpiring, but for whatever reason they have not signed and sent that contract back. So for now, I'm gonna say that May that May 30th the tentative date. Until we can get something signed, it's tentative. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see as things move forward. Y'all know I will definitely let y'all know what's happening with what's going on. Oh, you do got the rematch. Oh, look at y'all. Y'all are just amazing. Hold on, I'm gonna send you my email right now. I don't know what is happening with first of all, myself. I am like feeling like crazy. But let me send that to you right now. So because I want to pull that up. I want to pull that up and see it. I didn't get a chance to really see what Bill was talking about, but that's why I really didn't comment on it. I want to see how. You know what, Lise? Do you got Instagram? That's my email. But yeah, send that right on over here. I'm nosy. I want to. But like I said, I don't know if it was like, we'll see what's happening with these boys. These boys, they be talking crazy all the damn time. And then who knows, with that particular match. What did you see though? Lee, did you think it was a robbery? Or did you think like, nah, it was he won fair and square? Because they said the last one was a robbery. So I don't know what's really transpiring here and what's happening, but I definitely do. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that he didn't like Rolly publicly speaking about the negotiations and stuff. But boy, who cares? Like you're the one too that said you was gonna do it. So I mean, you said publicly on X, y'all received the contract after you first said you didn't receive nothing. Then I guess you talked to your daddy. Your daddy told you did receive something. So then you said, yeah, you received it. You went on in the ring and talked about how it was a good offer, and that's probably a fight you're gonna make. So I don't understand why he's so upset with Rolly. Looks to me like he's looking for a reason to back out. No, but what is the problem for real? Like these boys got to stop being so emotional. I don't get it. It's like I don't know, but it's getting really emotional. And I really don't know if I like that for them. But it is what it is. I'm just trying to update something else that I wanted to talk about. You know what? Let's go here. Because I want to talk to y'all about something else for real, right? And I don't know if y'all saw it. That Saudi looks to be getting ready to remove some of their funding from the U.S. I saw this and I realized nobody was actually talking about this. I want to know what y'all think the implications for Zuffa will be, what y'all think the implications for TKO will be, and what will happen if this particular investment leaves boxing. Because right now, a lot of these boys, they are tucked tight under that turkey umbrella, baby. I don't want to say getting overpaid because obviously they deserve money, but I'll say getting maybe a higher end of the scale than they would normally get if they were fighting under traditional boxing rules and regulations, not rules and regulations, but under the traditional boxing umbrella. As when I say that, I mean, you know, fighting what you worth. What is your drawing power? What is your, you know, um, pay-per-view numbers? How much of the sport can how many asses can you put in seats? Instead of getting paid like that now, Turkey is just for whatever reason. Um, I don't want to say just giving them whatever they want, but to a certain extent, giving them whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, what do we think will happen, you know what I'm saying, to the sport? Do we think things just go back to business as usual? Or what do we see? Because we Turkey, Dana, I know, relies heavily on the funding from Turkey Al Sheikh and his team. So what, if any, implications do y'all think that will have on the sport, right? Like, so Zuffa is definitely a new promotional entity, a joint venture, Saudi Arabia, Seller Sports, whatever, backed by the PIF fund. We talked about it several times, right? It owns, like, what is it, 60% of TKO Holdings, the same company that owns the UFC, owns 40%, and running as the face of the operations we know is Dana, goofy ass White, right? So let me just make sure that we understand this. When I say structurally, the Saudis hold majority control of this entity. Dana White, whose entire professional legacy basically was built on MMA, is now the CEO of of this particular promotional company. And TKO, which is a publicly traded company, does have shareholders and a stock price to protect somewhat. They have attached its name and credibility to a venture that is 60% funded by sovereign wealth. Right. Now I did see that the TKO executive, he did confirm publicly that Saudi money, remember I told y'all that they wanted to make it clear that Saudi money funded Conor Benn's Zuffa boxing contract because the boys over there at the UFC and MMA, they was getting a little restless. They looked like they was getting ready to storm the castle, right? So after the report surfaced that Conor Benn was going to be receiving possibly 15 million for one fight. I don't know how much I believe that, but that is what is being put out there, right? So for context, most of the UFC fighters who are not Conor McGregor do not see $15 million per fight, right? So the Saudis basically wrote a serious check. Now, I told y'all before, I think that was done to stick it to Eddie Hearn more than anything else, because I mean, obviously they're looking to expand to, Conor Benn. He's probably a big star over there in the UK, child. Who the hell knows? Not over here, but hey, whatever. We'll go with that. Right. But people were upset about that $15 million. Now, let's be precise. In what was that, November, I think? A lot of people were saying that Turkey was planning on slowing down money. People were calling everybody haters and everything like that. But the writing is on the wall. And I've said this several times. Y'all can go back to an episode of Read the Room that I did with my brother, Cam J. I've also done several boxing dirty secrets on this Saudi shit. Like, they cannot spend continuous money, endless money, without getting a return on their investment, right? And I don't understand why people think that businesses work without an ROI. That's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Even the person with the most money in the world is going to want an ROI on anything that they do. How else are you going to keep your money if it ain't coming back? So I don't know. What happens, though? My question is, what happens when this stops? What happens? The man running the Saudi boxing, right? He obviously, Turkey denied those rumors. Hold on. I think I still got that clip of him denying it. We know he be lying and shit though. But he said that he's not going to be stopping to spending the money. But we haven't seen turkey in a month of Sundays, right? Like, when is the last time we seen turkey out chic? Can anybody tell me? When is the last time? I haven't seen him in I don't know how damn long. So I don't know. But I thought that this was extremely interesting that nobody is mentioning the fact that this is headline news. That they will be, and it's all this. You see this pink person with the this one, the orange man. Obviously, we know whose fault it is, but we're not gonna get into the politics. I just thought that it would be interesting to find out what some of y'all think about what's happening now, since it's public news, whether y'all want to believe it or not, that it's a possibility that they will be pulling out of America. We see the lawsuit that Frank Warren has filed, Queensberry Promotions, but here is what we know. This is a part that people just completely ignore. Frank Warren, obviously, he did that. Now, Don King coming out saying he want to sue them too. Child, who the hell knows? Don King, listen, only in America, okay? But Zuffa Boxing, they're saying they're saving the sport, but the fine print shows fighters may pay the price in the end, right? They got into the actual contract terms of the fight. I talked about that already on this channel too. You got to pretty much, it's blood in, blood out over there. You want to get out, you probably got to fake your death. So this is interesting to me. I'm gonna be all up in this shit. You can believe that, because I want to know what Dana White is gonna do. I want to know what some of those boys that are signed over there are gonna do, because you can best believe all that money that they flaunting around, 15 million for Conor Ben, this much money for this person, that is going to come to a screeching halt sooner than later. Okay. Thank you, baby. I'm gonna check it right now. I want to see that fight. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't know, what is going to happen. I mean, shit, it should be business as usual. They was getting them a little lick, they had turkey pan for some, fights before. My only issue is a lot of these guys probably will start complaining about their purses again, saying they ain't getting enough just because they are comfortable with the overpayment. And obviously, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Okay, hold on a second. Lee, I don't know if we can play this, baby. So we're going to play a little bit by little bit, okay? I'm going to pull this up, guys. Shout out to Lee for sure. I'm going to pull this up, and we're going to play a little bit by little bit, because let me tell you something. I don't play with these people. YouTube, they be trying to have a sister on probation. They be hating for real. Okay. Let me see if y'all can see this. Let me add this. Y'all let me know if y'all can see it in the chat. Let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see my screen and y'all see the gentleman on here. Well, this is the young 14-year-old boy. Let me see this. Oh God, let me see this. Lord have mercy. Lord. Okay. All right, y'all. That should have been enough time for y'all to tell me whether or not y'all can see it. Okay, good. Cam, calm down. Okay. All right, I'm about to play this. Let's see. All right. Where is it? Okay. I turn the music up because they be trying to, you know what I'm saying. But let's see what's going on. Obviously, that's Herrera in the red. See with little Sean coming in here. Like I said, we're not gonna sit here and watch this whole damn thing. We're gonna skim through this. Where's Haney? Okay. Haney came in last. He the A side, y'all. Oh God, wait, what's his name? What do they call him? The Oracle? What's his name? What did they call the boy now? Why is he doing all of that? All right. Obviously, Bill's in his corner. Get on with this shit. What are they doing? Dancing around, all this other kind of foolishness. Get on with this already. Let's see what you got. All right. I'll tell you what, for him to be 14 years old in there already with do he fight like Devin Haney? Okay, Sean, I see you. Sticking that jab, boy. Do y'all think he fight like his brother? Y'all tell me. Tell me in the comment section. Y'all think he fight like his brother? We're not gonna do slander, brother. Behave. You know what? I don't know why I tell y'all to behave, because y'all never do. I'm not gonna say that he did that. I'm not gonna condone that kind of slander. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Are they supposed to be holding on to each other like that? All right, let's see what's going on. All right, Herrera. Let's see. Let's move this along. What the hell? Why Sean look like he getting manhandled by a 14-year-old? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Get up, boy. Damn shame. That's not a knockdown. Y'all don't think that's not a knockdown, right? That's not a knockdown. I don't think that's a knockdown. I tell you what, he got that touch me, tease me, hold me, please me shit down like from his brother. I tell you that goddamn much. All right. Look at this. y'all stop. Y'all gonna make me bad. Y'all gonna make me bad. Didn't tell him it would be rough. Dang. Yeah, he was throwing Sean all over the ring. It looked like, hey, baby Ruben, how you doing? How y'all doing? Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button, honey, please, as y'all come up in here. Let the algorithm know we up in here. Ugh, others under the weather. But okay, let's see what's happening. What's going on right here? Okay. He's sticking that. I'll tell you that damn much. All right. What's going on? Look at this. I'll tell you what, for 14, Herrera ain't doing bad. He ain't doing bad for 14. I guess they tried to give him give Sean some I don't want to say easy work because it don't look like it was easy, but you know, I guess thought what they consider to be a slower or softer touch. Let me see. Did he throw his ass down again? Hold on, let me see. Y'all want to hear what Bill telling him in the corner? Let's see what Bill talking about. Damn, man. I don't want all that music playing. Let me just see if we can hear him. No, we can't hear what Bill is saying. Damn it. Thought we'd be able to hear what Bill is saying. All right, let's just see. You gotta get that timing down. Okay. What's going on? All right. He cheating. But okay, so this is all right. Man, listen. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Child. Lord help us. Okay. What do we see? Why are they holding each other like this? Did he fall again? I don't know, man. What y'all think? What y'all think so far? Y'all think Sean won? Okay. I don't know. It's interesting. I tell you that much. But I don't know if I want to see them keep fighting. I mean, shit. Let me see. All right, well, y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Sean won? Y'all let me know. Oh, they still fighting. Hold on a second. No, they done. Mm. What y'all think? How y'all see that fight? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Sean yeah, he wanted losing? You know what? Grab and move. Y'all have to stop this. Y'all have to behave. Why can't y'all act right? Lord. All right. Thank you. Shout out to Lee. Thank you, baby. Because I sure was gonna go watch that a little later, but I'm glad we all got to watch it together. Well, some of y'all obviously already saw it, but I'm glad we definitely got to watch that. I don't know if I'm gonna say that it was a robbery. I mean, listen, you fighting a 14-year-old boy. The boy, I mean, again, it looks like the same blueprint that we saw previously, right? Where Ryan and Devin fought multiple times in the amateurs. They were split 3-3. And then when they got to the pros, we saw what happened. Sean lost the last 2 rounds. Okay. Okay. See, y'all come up in here acting crazy. Come on, y'all. Let's keep it moving because my throat's starting to burn again. All right, listen. We talked about Saudi. We talked about that. Oh, you know what? No, let me get to this heifer real quick, right? Real quick. Now I know y'all saw me posted on the community board about Michaela Mayer now signing to MVP, right? So obviously, and I talked last week about how it's possible that she may be fighting Clarissa Shields next, right? I don't know how this is going to work out because Michaela Mayer is now signed to MVP. I'm not sure if that fight is still on the table for Clarissa, but I do want to just touch on 2 things that are Clarissa Shields adjacent, right? I know that none of y'all are blind, and I know all y'all got ears and have heard about her recent um situation that is now being in the news cycle concerning 50 Cent and this other young gentleman, Maserati Bud. Um, I don't talk about celebrity gossip over here, even though she's not a celebrity in my opinion, but just the whole gossip of it. I will angle it like this, right? When you are looking to make big fights with big opponents and big promotional outfits such as MVP, they are on Netflix. They have just recently signed a deal with ESPN, making women's boxing on a huge platform. This is not the type of attention you want, right? Nor should, headlines be about you saying you want to fight Rolly Romero, right? Um, what she does in her personal life, I really don't care about unless it affects her marketability and what she possibly has going on inside of the ring. Companies want people that are marketable, right? And at this stage in the game, she's extremely messy. She's allowing her personal life to bleed into her brand, which does not look good, right? Let's just be 100% honest. These new little stories happening are nothing but distractions from what she needs to be focusing on, and that is building her brand. She is a woman who a lot of people recognize as the face of boxing, and just being honest, it does not look good for us women. And I get it, right? Like, men do stuff like this all the time, but we have to be honest with ourselves. In society, there is a difference a way a man is looked at when he sleeps with a lot of women versus how a woman is looked at when she sleeps with a lot of men. That's just the way it is. It's just reality. We don't have to like it, but we do have to recognize and be conscious of it, right? As a young woman who has self-branded herself the GWOAT, she needs to be more concerned with her brand. She needs to be less involved with what I'll call ghetto Zeus nonsense, right? And I do understand that she's now working with Zeus and they're putting some type of plan in place to, have a platform for her and Papoose' new reality show that they're doing. What the fuck ever. I do not feel personally that is going to help increase her brand. How do I put this without just sounding just all the way terrible? Um, I think that her time would be better spent instead of inside of the Louis store, finding herself a PR person, a social media expert, somebody who basically deals in crises, and who can help her navigate social media to the best of her ability, or at least better help her spin narratives, because her on her own, it ain't it, right? It's not, that ain't it. She needs to clean up her act. I don't know if this Michaela Mayer fight is going to go through. I know she was asked about Shadeja Green. She kind of dodged that question and gave the same generic answer that she usually gives, which is, Franchon Cruz beat her, so I'm going to fight Franchon Cruz. I heard them talking again about another fight. I'm going to tell you right now, if Clarissa Shields fights Franchon Cruz one more goddamn time, I'm going to stick a fork in my eye. And I mean that. And I'm going to dig, because I don't want to see that shit. Okay? I didn't want to see it the last damn time. Right? So I think that if she kind of wants to be what she claims that she is, she needs to kind of start taking, I guess, fights that we don't know if she can win, or at least get herself into a weight class where there's more competition and different names, right? Because where she is right now, she's going to be fighting a whole bunch of rematches, and I don't really understand how she feels that is going to be worth $8 million. She needs to clean up her act, just from a woman's standpoint. She needs to get this shit together, because she's damaging her own brand, right? There's nobody outside of Clarissa Shields that's ruining her brand. She's doing that all by her goddamn self. Okay, so we just need to be a little bit more conscious. And I don't know what she needs to do, but she needs to kind of get herself together. We know, Rick Timms, you Team Wool. Why don't you send her an email and have her get her shit together, right? Since you Team Wool, why don't you? And she responds to every damn thing. So why don't you go up under one of her posts and tell her she need to get herself together? Okay. Yeah, Ruben, y'all cutting up today. I just, whatever. Y'all do y'all. I don't care. I don't even feel well enough to even get y'all together today. But that's just where we are with the Clarissa Shields situation. Like I said, she did say that she was trying to fight Michaela Mayer. Michaela Mayer has now signed to Zuffa, not so Lord. Michaela Mayer has now signed to MVP, which is where she should be, which is where all the women pretty much are, So I don't know why, that conversation that she had with Jake Paul and MVP, I'm not sure why that really didn't go anywhere, because it seems to be that all of your ops are going to be over there anyway in a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? Shadeja's over there. Michaela's now over there. And any other woman that you think you can fight. I think she should probably fight Tammy Tiberow if she drops down a few weight classes, or at least one or two. You willing to go all the way down to 162 to fight Michaela Mayer? Why not fight Tammy Tiberow, or even make a quick pit stop at 168 and fight Shadeja Green? Again, I'm not saying any of these women could beat her, but it will be a change in pace from the females that we've been seeing her fight, right? Like, let's keep it a buck. Clarissa Shields fights women with significantly less fights than she has, so it's not a surprise that she is beating them. Okay, that's not to say that she's not skilled. That's not to say anything about her accolades or her accomplishments or achievements, what have you. It's just the fact that her opponent selection is ass. And it may not be her fault, because at the weight class that she's at, the talent pool is very thin up there. So in my opinion, it's not hard to reign supreme when it ain't but 5 bitches up there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just my particular take on that matter. But I do really suggest that she gets herself some PR training, probably stay out of grown men beef, and kind of just simmer down with all of that. She's given very masculine energy. And she should probably, just take some time and focus on her next moves. And I know that she has people that fight under her. Maybe kind of start focusing a little bit more on building her brand than kind of being negative headlines all of the time. I don't see how that's really going to help her advance, especially if she's looking to get any sort of brand deals, any sorts of endorsements or anything like that. These kind of things are frowned upon. So, she might want to just take care of her private situations a little bit more in private, than having them play out in public, because she's out here looking bad. I'm just being honest. She's out here looking real bad. And you think so? Yeah, I don't know. You think she's better than her brother? I think he's getting even better, though. That's the scary part. He's getting even better. But enough of this old loose heifer. Let's move on. I saw something that was very interesting. Remember, I told y'all in the beginning that we were going to talk about the little nightclub pull up that we did see with Keyshawn Davis and Ryan Garcia. Now, obviously, I put it on mute because of the music playing in the background. I don't want to get flagged. But they were talking about making a fight. Keyshawn saw him in the club, and they were talking about having a fight possibly at 147. Now, I don't know if y'all saw Keyshawn's post that he made, but he said that he was going to 147 for a champion. We all assumed that it was Devin, but what if it was Ryan, right? What if Keyshawn takes food off of Shakur's plate, just like Shakur took food off of his plate with the Teofimo Lopez fight? Talk to me. Y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me. Let's start with that. Okay. Now let's verify what we know. We know Ryan Garcia just recently beat Mario Barrios, capturing the WBC welterweight titles. Okay. He dropped Barrios in the first 30 seconds, coincidentally, the same way he dropped Devin. That was a unanimous decision. He looked sharp. He looked dangerous. And I need to be fair. Say what you want about Ryan Garcia's personal life, his social media behavior, everything else attached to that name. When that man is locked in and in shape, he is a legitimate problem for anybody at that weight. Right. And then after that win, he called out Shakur Stevenson, and everybody, was like, oh, he should have been calling out Devin, but that's neither here nor there. Well, actually, Devin should be on his ass because, whatever. But now everybody and their grandmother wants to get in line what appears for a piece of Ryan Garcia, because that name is a lottery ticket. We've been knew that Ryan has drawing power. Like we all know that, right? He's going to be the A side in every situation he's in, except if he rematches, Gervonta Tank Davis. He will be the A side to all of these boys, right? Like, we have to stop acting like boxing doesn't have a little bit to do with popularity, because it absolutely does. Keyshawn Davis, he was a champion at 135. He's been making it clear that he wants all these big fights. But he said that he will take Ryan on with no rehydration clause, on an even playing field. Now, let's unpack that for a second. Do y'all think that was a shot at Shakur? He said he wasn't scared. He said he fought somebody on steroids. That wasn't cool. He admitted that. But he's also, no rehydration clause, all of that. He will fight that. He will fight Ryan. Which fight do y'all think is a better fight? Do y'all think Keyshawn versus Ryan is a better fight? Or do y'all think Ryan versus Shakur is a better fight? I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I think so too. I think he was. I'm not sure why he said he'll never fight Keyshawn, but he should. I think that'll make for a better fight. That'll be, what the hell they got going on like that about to kiss, child? Anyway, I want him to fight Keyshawn. I think it'll be a better fight. I think it'll be more of an entertaining fight, if I'm being honest. But I didn't see that tweet, cancel. That just completely nullifies what I was about to say, because I was about to say I definitely would want to see that particular fight over the other one. It appears that these boys are all just running around here playing a bunch of damn games. Playing a bunch of games and a bunch of foolishness going on. But I would definitely watch that fight. I would prefer that fight, honestly, over the one with Shakur. But here we go again, right? Like, Ryan, first of all, is at 147. So Key, obviously he would have to go up to 147. He understands that. Apparently Shakur is the only one running around here thinking that he has some sort of leverage on anybody. Maybe somebody of a lower tier, maybe like of an Oshaki, but when it comes to Ryan Garcia, you have absolutely no leverage. So I don't know. He might have definitely been trolling Shakur when he said that, but that ain't the first time he said something like that. Remember when he said that to Devin? So he self-consciously, these boys, shut the hell up, Tony Review. Self-consciously, these boys are taking shots and digs at one another. More Keyshawn than anything. But because this isn't the first time that he said that. Like, I don't need no rehydration clauses for you, this, that, and the third. Directly after hearing Shakur request them for certain fighters. But like I said, I do prefer Devin versus Ryan. Shakur is a waste of time. I ain't mad at that, Ruben. I ain't mad at you, baby. I ain't mad at that at all. Okay. So, like I said, who do we want? Keyshawn and Ryan, but now that he said he'd never fight Ryan, whatever. But Ryan is a little, cuckoo. So who knows, Who knows? Now, I know some of y'all have been peeping what's going on with Virgil and Boots online. I just see Oscar up here lying, told me he tried to make that fight a long time ago. I am sick to death of them, honey. Okay, sick to death. I'm gonna get this last little tidbit out the way, then I'm gonna open it up for y'all just for a little bit. Okay. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I'm gonna play it and then we're gonna talk about it.
Ricka, you got a baby by a trick, nigga. Don't start with me. Do not start. I will get ignorant with your ass, and I'm talking about just talking. I get ignorant. You made the biggest fuck ups with chicks. You talking about spending money on chicks, nigga? Oh, I had to come.
So yo, you didn't have enough time on the video.
I have more to say, but you know, it is what it is. So then he posted up some old footage that he act like was shared. Anyway, I ain't even going into the details. The lawyer's gonna handle that. I told the young man to stop it before he give up some of that money. I don't know why he took the steps he took, but the lawyer's gonna deal with Devin. We don't got to worry about Devin no more on that part. You know, it is what it is, brother. I don't know why brothers just out of the blue just started with us. I guess I can't say they jealous, but I don't know what the fuck it is. We wasn't bothering that guy. He minding our business, but he's on that side of the street, the Turkey side with the Shakur, the Keishans, you know. So I'm calling out his stable mates, and you know he want to come out like that. I guess I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, I was wondering, how did he get a hold of like where the finances go and stuff like that?
That's a lie. Number one, that's a lie. He don't know nothing about our finances. That's why I said that's defamation. Like, listen, in sponsorships and endorsements, I make over 30 grand a month just on endorsements. Not why would we need to spend my son's purse? It don't make any sense. But that young man, to him, it do. So he's gonna deal with the attorneys. It's gonna cost him a fee because that's a lot of laws he breaking besides privacy, invasion of privacy. You can't share some footage from somebody's household. Like, yo, what do brothers be thinking? So they want to give up millions of dollars because they don't understand the torture they put a young lady through who went through that. We went through therapy. We made it years through this. Now she got to relive that because you want to share a video of her because we had a major argument. That was my fuck up. Totally. No man should be putting his hands on no woman at no time. But I had to live that moment. Seeing it, her family seeing it. So he's got to deal with attorneys now. Because that.
So let me hold on a second.
Don't stop.
Well, let's let that sit there. First and foremost, I don't know what started this, right? Like I said, I've been kind of under the weather, so I've been in and out. I don't know what started this. Apparently, Devin posted something online about Papa Schofield and little baby Schofield. I'm not sure why he did that or what possessed him to just, I guess, attack them. So he said, so if somebody know, y'all can fill me right on in, honey, because I don't know where that came from. I did see that Devin said that, and I was like, well, why is he bringing this up again? So obviously the videos posted again of where he assaulted the young lady. I don't know how he can sue anybody for that. You are the one in the video assaulting a woman, sir. So I'm not really sure where he's going with that, or where he possibly thinks he's going with that. Everybody's sue happy. I tell you that damn much. Everybody talking about suing some damn body for something, defamation, all this other kind of stuff. I don't know what's happening. But I will tell you this. You are the one in the video assaulting that woman. So I'm not really sure what exactly it is that will be the basis of that lawsuit. Saying he couldn't beat Ryan and defend the. Oh, okay. I did see Schofield calling out Keyshawn too. So we're gonna definitely see. I mean, shit, all them call outs Keyshawn did, he gotta figure somebody gonna answer the call. May not be who you want, but there's been a couple of niggas. I saw Arnold Barbosa saying he'll fight Keyshawn. I did see Schofield saying that, you know, they'll fight him. Obviously, Auntie Schofield. I didn't see really I really didn't see the kid saying pretty much anything. I just saw Papa Schofield saying that he'd fight Keyshawn. So, you know, we'll see as it progresses what the hell is happening, what's going on for Q2 of 2026. But that brings us to our final topic. What in the hell are we going to do about Jerron Boots Ennis? Y'all, who can we get to fight this man? I mean, listen, I pose this question constantly, and I continue to pose this question. What is a reasonable fight that we would accept for him at this stage in the game? We see what's transpiring with the Virgil situation. Obviously, you know, Oscar slapped them golden handcuffs on him. So what do we think is next for Jerron Boots Ennis? Do we want to see him get in there with Xander, my baby Xander? But if we got to sacrifice him, listen, things got to be done for the greater good. I ain't mad at that. But what do we see? What do we see happening for him? And this is exactly what I did not want to happen, right? For the first quarter of 2026, it looks like he will be without a fight. I don't understand this. I don't understand what's happening. So, what do we think? Who will we accept as a good opponent? I know y'all always saying he needs a name and all of that, all of that other kind of crap. So, who do we think would be a good name for him? Who do we think? Because he has to fight somebody, right? And even with all the situations that we're looking at, and nobody wanting to get in the ring with him, we're still saying things like, Boots ain't fighting nobody. When we see people clearly ducking the man, when we see people obviously acting like he don't exist, backtracking on things that they say they would do. Josh Kelly, he said if he won, he would fight Boots, but then he didn't. Now he doesn't appear to want to fight Boots. So who can we put him in there with? Who will be a good squabble? What is a good name y'all will respect? I know last week or earlier this week, somebody said that they would do a Jamel Charlo. I said, me personally, I don't know how much credit I would give him. And I'm just being honest, for fighting a nigga 3 years off the couch. You know what I'm saying? If he came back and he had a couple of fights before he fought Boots, then cool. But I mean, like right now, who can we have him squabble up with? Who are we going to put him in there with? Because he needs a fight now. I don't know how true, because I know I reported before that EJ was coming back. I haven't really heard much else. I know that Tim Tszyu was taking his tune-up fight, and then possibly he's getting in there with Boots. But I mean, what are we gonna do? What are we really gonna do about this? He doesn't have. I need to. I'm on my one-woman quest to help Boots out, honey. I've been on my one-woman quest to get this man a fight. Like I'm his YouTube lawyer, y'all. I'm his YouTube lawyer. I need to figure out what's happening. We got to get him in there with somebody that y'all respect. Because I'm so tired of y'all telling me he ain't fighting no damn body. I don't know what to do. So who are we gonna get in there with the youngin? Who are we gonna get in there and squabble up with the homie now? Y'all got to be honest. Give me some names, y'all. Come on, some good names for my homie. Who we got? Where did you say that? Josh Kelly. Let me see. And Devin was emotional. Devin is always emotional. He shouldn't be talking about hit no goddamn way. But I don't know. Yeah, that was goofy. I don't know why Schofield went on that whole rant. He said, "You text me, Cam." Hold on a second. I can barely damn breathe. Let me see. Oh, so let me see something. Oh yeah, I saw that. Boots and Xander talking. I didn't know how true that was. Okay. All right. I'll take it. Listen, we gotta get what we gotta get. Jared Anderson going. I ain't looked at my text all damn day. I was asleep, Lord. Oh my God. Please. Yeah. So I saw that, Cam. I also saw the one you sent me about that girl. But okay, so we'll keep our eye out and see what's going on with the Xander situation. If Xander is going to be getting in there with Boots, I hope so. I really hope so. He get 2 belts in one. That's good. That's good. I don't think the Devin needs to be fighting no damn Xander. He got himself full with Rolly and then Ryan. I don't believe that for 1 second. Y'all let me know if y'all believe he's gonna go from Rolly to Ryan. More importantly, y'all think he just gonna walk over Ryan? Like, y'all be honest. Y'all think he just gonna go in there and wash Rolly? I mean Rolly. I said Ryan. My bad. Rolly. Y'all think he gonna go in there and just wash Rolly? I need to know. I know a lot of people, think Rolly has a pretty good chance of beating Devin. What do y'all think? Y'all think he's gonna go in there and just wash Rolly like he's just levels above Rolly, or do y'all think that Rolly has a chance? And I'm not talking about just a puncher's chance because everybody got that in a fight. But do y'all think that Rolly really stands a chance with Devin? He might tell Rolly you too small. You know how he like to do. But hopefully they get that contract signed and that fight will be next. And then we'll see from there. He said that he's still checking for the Ryan fight, but we'll see. I don't know. Things are getting interesting. A lot of people seem to be wanting to fight Ryan now. So Ryan definitely has options for sure. Ryan's always had options though. Ryan is a draw, like you know what I'm saying, in the sport. So he's always had options. He can always choose whichever way he wants to. I would hope that he would select the Haney rematch. Obviously, if they're being a little outrageous with their demands and their stipulations, then hey, whatever. In my opinion, Devin needs that fight a little bit more than Ryan. Maybe they need it equally, but just from what we saw, you got to kind of clean that up. You can't let that be the last memory of that fight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's just caution or if they're just waiting for the right time for Ryan to look bad again or what the case may be. To me, the time is now. Y'all are both champions. He's coming off a really good win. You had a really good win. The momentum is there. The backstory is there. The rivalry is there. It's no time like the present, but I understand if things, have to move differently because they're not really on the same fight schedule. So, who knows? But that's pretty much my purview on what's happening. We'll see if Boots gets in there with Xander. That'll be a really good fight. I think that'll be a really good fight. As far as Rolly and Devin, I mean, Devin, I don't know, because Rolly is so awkward, man. Rolly is very unorthodox and he's extremely strong. So we'll definitely see. We're definitely gonna see. I did, I talked, like I said, about the Clarissa situation. Now, something else I did see again with this young man. I don't know if they're pursuing a lawsuit against her for continuously saying that he took his padding out in sparring. But I do know that him and his coach have become extremely more vocal about the situation since it has gotten brought back up again when she was on Nightcap discussing how she could beat Rolly, and discussing the situation where this young man did knock her down. So I don't really know what's going to happen with this, but she needs to be extremely careful when she's out here slandering people. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I agree. Hey, JB, what's up, baby?
Hey, what's going on, Jan? How you doing?
How you doing? I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, doing good. Shit, just out here rolling around. Just got to give me a little rest. I ain't seen you was on, and just try to chime in with you. Talk a little bit about that
Yeah,
whole situation, with the sparring partner saying that he took out the pad, and she said she went
yeah,
to a car and all that, and I don't know
yeah.
why she didn't sue her if that was indeed the case. If you got the evidence, go sue. But it's right now, it's just her word against his. Not to say that he probably did. She said that he was. What she said, she was getting the best of him in the sparring. Before that, a couple of days before that, she was getting the better of his sparring against his sparring, and he decided to next time they sparred to take the pad out. Because it looked bad that a woman was getting the best of him. I guess I think that's how she tried to say it. So
Yeah, she did try to frame it like that, but they've obviously come out and disputed that. I really don't know. I will say this though, your chin was down, your defense was low. I mean, it could happen, and not to say that he did it on purpose. I think more or less she was embarrassed more than anything. I think that Clarissa honestly thinks that she really be getting the better of these men. But if you watch any of her sparring with these men ain't going full throttle at her. Are you crazy? But I think in her mind, with them just pulling back at her, kind of trying to help her do good work, she thinks that she's getting the better of these men. In no situation, maybe a nigga off the corner, a drunk man, or somebody who don't train, something like that, she could probably beat one of them. But if we're being honest, I don't I don't understand why she has it in her mind that she can beat a trained male boxer, a champion, anybody of that elite level. I really don't understand why this girl thinks she can beat them. She has to stop this.
Yeah, she's delusional. She first she started
She's
with Keith
very
Thurman.
delusional.
Yeah. And then after that she started talking about she can beat Rolly and stuff
Jake
like that,
Paul. She is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Like you said, those guys are not going full throttle in her against her in sparring. They probably, barely, they probably ran some shots on her, but they're not really sitting down on those shots while they
Yeah, they're
sparring with
not
her.
doing
You got
that. They're not doing that. Are you crazy? They
yeah,
would ruin her confidence. And I don't understand why she doesn't understand that they're trying to help her build her confidence. You talking about you and they're giving men the business. Girl, you have 18 fights and 3 knockouts. Stop
yeah,
this. She has to stop this. She has to stay in reality before she gets herself really hurt, She
yeah.
has to.
You gotta understand, like I said, they got headgear on, and the gloves that you have in sparring got much more padding in it than in a regulated fight. They probably got 18-ounce gloves on and sparring and stuff like that. So it's just not, no, it's not really comparable to like a real fight when you ain't got no headgear on and you use
Right.
a regulated
Right.
gloves. The
Right.
division you in, whole
Let
different situation.
me let me ask you something, JB. I'm gonna ask you two different questions, and they're gonna be about the topics that we covered today, since you're the only one that clicked the link. But let me ask you first. I mean, I know that you've been hearing about what's going on with her, and the Papoose situation and the Maserati Bud. What do you think that is actually doing for her brand as a female boxer? And I talked about how women, they have to move differently than men, whether we want to believe it, agree to it, or not. We have to just move differently, especially if you are a female trying to build a brand. What do you think that this type of attention, this type of attention is doing for her brand?
It's not helping her brand. It's not. It's helping her brand and then it's hurting at the same time. What's the old saying? All publicity is good publicity, no matter if it's good or bad. So she
You
is.
believe that?
Well, she's definitely the most popular female boxer out there, and probably one of the more popular female athletes in general. So she definitely has the brand. She's dating a rapper for Boost, and which has brought her into a whole nother demographic. The hip hop fans, they know her. So she's definitely helping her brand, but sometimes you got to you can't respond to everybody. She said like she got to respond to everything somebody say about her. She got to respond to it. You can't respond to everything. Like this whole situation with 50 Cent. She got her own fight hype, training that, and then when you do it, go on there, you make your point, and then that's it, man. You stand on that 30, 40 minutes, and you kind of regurgitate the same stuff that you said, earlier in the video, and going back to the same thing, and it's like, come on, man, that's like kind of like nonsense to me. It's like nonsense, explain, you could have just really got on your Twitter page and really say what you want to say on your Twitter page and left it at that. If you want to go live and all this and talk about this, that, and third, you didn't mess around with the guy that's in the line that you're gonna sue 50 Cent. Well, just go and get the suing. Why are you on the live talking about you gonna sue him? What you I gotta do is get your lawyer to contact his lawyer, and tell it's gonna be legal action for you defaming her name, making up stories about her. That's all you gotta
But
do.
my issue is this: why are you suing 50 Cent when the Maserati Bud is the one that's saying that he slept with you? Why are you suing 50? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Make no sense. You should be suing Maserati. All he's been doing is saying what Maserati told him.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. Now, if he lying, that's on him. I'm just going by what he told me. He can't sue me.
Right.
He's suing
Right.
me.
Right.
Yes.
But so now my second question is, obviously we've seen recently in the news that Saudi money may be pulling out of boxing. Do you think that will have any effect on what's transpiring in boxing right now? For Zuffa and TKO, what kind of effect do you really think that will have on the sport with them possibly pulling their funding?
We're probably not going to have, if that is indeed true, we're probably not going to be having those loaded cards that we had before. That's one thing that Turkey was able to produce. He was able to produce a lot of loaded cards with 4 or 5 main event caliber fights on the same card. We might not have none of those cards anymore if he goes 100% committed to Zuffa. So we still going to have fights. PBC will still be putting on fights. Matchroom Boxing will still be putting on fights. Queensberry boxing will still be putting on fights, but it just
Mhm.
probably won't be putting on those loaded cars like they was doing reality. That's what we probably don't miss. But everybody
Right.
saw that thing might happen though. So they were saying, you know, you spending all this money and you're not really
Mhm.
generating any kind of revenue to cover your expenses. So it's the money gonna dry.
Mhm.
Ain't nobody got unlimited money. Ain't nobody gonna just keep on losing money. You know, you ain't
Exactly.
got to the point where you become a multi-millionaire just to throw it all away. So I kind
Yep.
of saw this coming from the get-go.
Miss Mr. Shelton, what's up? The same questions to you, baby. Do you think that Clarissa's out the ring activities are negatively affecting her brand? And what do you think will happen to the sport with Zuffa possibly with Saudi possibly pulling their money, their funding from the sport?
Well, with Clarissa, you know, she's just doing what she does, and she's gonna constantly shoot herself in the foot because she got the can't help it. She can't help but say something if you say anything to her that she deems disrespectful, and anything that's not praising her to the utmost and saying she's the greatest thing since sliced bread is an insult. So she gonna keep doing what she's doing. She, you know, like you said, she's suing 50 Cent for repeating what somebody told him allegedly. So why you ain't suing the dude that told him that?
Yeah.
If it's so untrue, what you mad at him for? He's just repeating something that the dude told him. So she gonna continue to shoot herself in the foot, and then she wonders why Layla gets respected and these other pioneer women before her get respected. She seems like everybody is downplaying her because she says idiotic things like, I could beat Rolly.
Mm-hmm.
I could beat Keith Thurman. I could beat Sean Porter. Come on, man. Just keep beating on the people you fighting. As a matter of fact, you got a girl over there calling you out. Why you won't fight her? You talking about Michaela Mayer and all these other people. Why you ain't fighting the girl that's calling your name? So, you know, we just gonna let her do what she does because she gonna continue to shoot herself in the foot. We can't stop her.
So do you think that that's hurting her brand? And I mean, listen, like I said, man, I try to stay out of this, but when it's like affecting you, because now we saw that, like I said, Michaela Mayer has now signed to MVP. That was a fight that she looked like she was pushing, but now it's like, you know, people they worry about who they associate with, believe it or not, because it's brand adjacent, right? Like I don't want to mix my brand with your brand if your brand is not, you know, cohesive to what my brand is or
Facts.
what I'm trying to build. You know what I'm saying? So
All facts.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt her. It's gonna hurt her because what she gonna have to eventually do, you gonna run out of people that's just hanging out. Everybody that you gonna need to fight or want to fight is probably gonna be an MVP. So you gonna have to swallow your pride and go have a conversation with that guy. You know, the guy that you said you a knockout, that guy.
Yeah.
You gotta go have a conversation with that guy because you're gonna run out of people to fight.
Yep, and MVP they just signed a deal with ESPN. So
they signing women left and right. Absolutely. They're signing women left and right. She's gonna have to play ball with them eventually. And I get it, right? She wants to be her own woman, but why not put yourself on the biggest stage in women's boxing? Those people are fighting on Netflix, bro. It don't get no bigger than that right now. They just signed a deal with ESPN. It don't get no bigger than that right now. So why doesn't she swallow her pride and stop fighting in Detroit, the same Little Caesars casino? Most of those tickets are comped, let's be honest, you know, and really test her brand outside of Detroit. Let's test your market value. If Salida Promotions really wants to build her into the star that she claims she is, there's going to have to be some adjustments. There's going to have to be some changes, you know?
Well, I still say the same thing, and I'm gonna leave it at this, Jab. They was able to, according to you and your video, they was able to get $15 million for the other chick. How come they can only get you 8?
I don't even believe that $8 million, if I'm being honest, Mr. Shelton. I'm just going to be honest. It doesn't really add up to me. They still owed her $1.2 million from her previous contract. So you mean they came up with that and an additional $8 million for a whole bunch of rematches? Your very first fight of this new deal was a rematch with Franchon Cruz-Dezern. It just doesn't add up. A lot of things just don't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like it was more of a publicity stunt to try and increase her market value. But again, she hasn't tested it really outside of Detroit. So how do we really know?
Yeah, if you're the flagship fighter for Salida, how come they couldn't get you $15 million?
That's what I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Greg, shout out to you for joining the panel. What do you think about the two questions I posed? And then I'll even add a caveat to that, right? Like, so how do y'all think that she's representing women's boxing since she claims she is the face of women's boxing? When you hear something like that and you think about everything that she has going on, what do you think of women's boxing? Mr. Greg, it's on you, baby.
How's everyone doing?
Under the weather.
All right. Carissa has allowed herself to jump head first, really, into this whole make-believe world of celebrity where everything seems important if you're arguing with another celebrity. You're calling each other names and so forth. It's almost like WWE. And boxing has become a soap opera all the way across the board. Like, if you've ever watched them, like The Days of Our Lives, The Guiding Light, Secret Storm, that's what boxing has become, in my opinion, and the way that they are now, everybody's running to social media and the internet to push whatever agenda or whatever feelings they have about other boxers, especially the boxers, their fathers, their trainers are doing craziness like that. With Carissa, this is still relatively new and it's almost satisfying to her because she's still recovering from all of those years of being called ugly and dismissed and missing out on deals that better looking girls that she could beat were getting. So now this attention that she's getting, and particularly from the world of hip hop and rap and so forth, somewhat intoxicating to her as she's not realizing how it's affecting her as a professional in terms of how she's being perceived. She's not understanding if she wants to be the face of boxing, if she wants the sport to be taken very seriously in the way that she's talked before, that her conduct very much reflects how the face of boxing and women's boxing is going to be perceived by new people coming in or those who are just really starting to look at it. Right now, she's caught up in arguing, and these kinds of things it's activity, but does it push the sport forward? It doesn't push her forward to be taken seriously as a top tier athlete. And I would say no. I would say it garners her some attention, but that's all it's really doing right now until she recognizes that she wants to. It's like the sales. I used to have ladies who were sales associates, account execs. And I used to tell them, regardless of how you look when you go out into the field and knock on the door of businesses, in this case, talking to customers and talking to the consumer, you have to be taken seriously. They have to not see you as just a name out there who's arguing with 50, who's in this turmoil with Remy Ma and Papoose. They have to see you as a professional to be taken seriously that they can respect. I don't think that her fighting style is bad. I don't think what she does in the ring is bad, but you have to look at whether it's fair or not. Women are going to always be looked at differently. Any little mistake that you make is going to be magnified, and it's not fair, but this is the reality of of things. Women have to show, hey, not only am I very good at this in the ring, but I represent all of us very well outside of the ring, because how you are outside is the way people look at you, because that's where they see you the most. They see you fighting, but then when they see you in all this other mess, it sort of clouds how they perceive you as a fighter. I think you asked about the deals that she was in, because I just kind of jumped in, and I'm sorry I didn't see everything. Boxing is
no. I said oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, so I can answer.
No, I was gonna say, this whole situation, obviously, as we watch it unfold, how do we think that it is helping her brand? And then, she proclaims to be the face of women's boxing. What do you think of women's boxing if you're looking at her as the face of women's boxing? See, for me personally, I know a lot of y'all, you don't like Carissa, and I don't. I'll be very honest, but I will never deny the fact that she is skilled. But, there are a few things that she needs to clean up. To be the face of boxing, it takes more than just being able to beat somebody up in the ring all wild and aggressively, right? Like you said, Mr. Greg, it's how you represent the sport outside of the ring that really counts. You know, we see how Layla did it. She was very stylish, very graceful. I think that it's very important that she learns to invest in herself. However much of that $8 million they gave you up front, you need to take that and you need to go somewhere to somebody's etiquette class. You need to start figuring out how to reinvent your brand, because this is not it. I'm sorry, this ain't it.
Yeah, she's just having, like I said, she's having her moment where I guess she's getting some revenge. She's trying to show how tough she is with these men. All this, I can beat men. None of that actually helps her. It just draws attention to her, but it's not the kind of attention that is laced with any respect. You start to look at her as though she's a little delusional. What do you mean you can beat men? We haven't even seen you do a whole lot of beating up the women that you have won against.
Exactly.
So you start looking at that. I kind of think that deal that she got, and I just heard that she was still already owed $1 million.
1.2 million is what Salida Promotions owed her.
Yeah.
And then now they're partnered with, I guess, Win Records. Who are they? I don't know, but they were able to come up with, I guess, this $8 million deal. It's a lot going on into that. I suggest y'all go watch my video, The $8 Million Lie. I break it down a little bit more in detail of what I was able to dig up anyway, of what is all included in that $8 million.
Exactly.
But moreover with that, and nobody's paying attention to this, Clarissa is positioning herself to be on the Zeus network. What all that will entail, I don't know. I heard about a talk show with her, not a talk show, but a reality show with her and Papoose on the Zeus network. That's not the direction you want to go into, building yourself a brand as the GWOAT, like a woman's boxing. That's not the kind of lane we want to see you in. We all know that Zeus network, and shout out to that young black brother who obviously is making millions off of those women, but that is not a network that people respect. That is a network full of trashy young girls, and all they do is fight, drink, and act a damn fool.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You position yourself in the very position you don't want to be.
Seems to be right up her alley, doesn't it?
Yeah. You don't want to be seen as loud, uncivilized, raunchy. You don't want to do all of that, particularly you're in your prime of your life. I think she's 30, 31. This is the time where you put real work in. This is the time where you save money, you do great deals, you do the kinds of things that you really want to be proud of down the road. See, a lot of times we do things on impulse. I felt like slapping somebody. And down the road, you realize how it made you look and how people see you now. They remember you for the dumb stuff that you did when you was 20, when you was 25. And she's not looking at that right now. This is what has happened to, I think, a lot, not just her, but a lot of the younger celebrities who go into what I've always called, even when I was out in California, the make-believe world of celebrity. You don't understand unless you're in that world and you just stay there, that you're relatively safe as long as whatever you're selling, people still will buy. Once you
here's my issue.
Huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I say, and I was about to say about that deal, that $8 million deal. I'm glad that you doing the investigation into it, because if you already owe me almost $2 million, I'll put it like that, and then we sign a new deal, did you fold that 1.5 or 1.7, whatever it is, into this new deal? How is it being paid? Is it just performances? Is it per fight? Because I understand why you would take a rematch. It was easy to take a rematch that you can get the lion's share of the money to start getting paid of it pretty quickly. Those kinds of deals always have a lot of hidden traps and a lot of suppose you do this or you'll get more if you do this. It'll add up to 8 million. But is that
exactly?
Is there some a certain amount of money per fight, or is it adding up? And that's why you have to, when you hear these kinds of deals that sound good, it's the devil. The devil's in the details, as we say.
Absolutely.
But I suspect There's a lot of details in there. So what you do is dumb stuff like that. The rematch. You probably more than likely gonna win, so you're gonna get paid this time. But now there's other times, and now you just said something that's very interesting, and that's very true. Netflix is in the game, and ESP is. I thought they were out, but they're getting back in
with women.
Yeah, and they're looking at how you conduct yourself, what you bring, what kind of audience do you bring to their network, and do you bring to these arenas where these fights are going to be staged. So you got to look at that. It might not even be your fault of who comes, but how you represent yourself and how you appeal to that audience makes a whole lot. Is this an audience that's actually going to subscribe to Netflix? Is this an audience that's actually going to pay their money and subscribe to ESPN too? Because that's usually probably where the fight's going to be at it when they get back.
Well, and that's and you brought something up very interesting to me, Mr. Greg, which is another one of my points, right? She's trying to fight Michaela Mayer, right? Michaela Mayer is now with MVP. They fight on the big stage, Netflix. So you think that Michaela Mayer is going to go fight you in Detroit, Michigan? Like, are you kidding me? I don't think Shadeja Green is going to go to Detroit, Michigan. Like, these are high profile fighters. Like, Jake Paul has definitely positioned these women to be in high profile situations. He's not over here fighting at the chicken circuit. Are you crazy? Like, are you crazy? This is a branding deal. Jake Paul has done an amazing job of branding MVP and partnering them with other significant players in the game. ESPN is a huge deal. I want people to really understand and think about this. For someone calling themselves the GOAT of boxing, you were nowhere near this deal. Why is that?
Respect. Respect is something that she's going to find she's going to start losing because of the activities that she currently is engaging in. See, respect goes a long ways that people don't quite understand. It's not just respecting you in the ring. It's respecting you as a woman. It's respecting you as a professional. It's respecting you as a celebrity. It's respecting you as the face of the boxing, that you're moving forward. Everybody can want to fight you. And you talk a little trash to each other to get the fight built up. But are you doing the kind of work outside the ring for those big fights to happen, for those big platforms to say, we got to have her on this platform? And I don't think they're thinking that much about it. And it's going to also mess with her ego as well. She's safe in Detroit right now. She can do sort of what she wants to do for the most part and play the game because she's the king or the queen in a small pond. But you go into the big platform, you got to really, really, really be the king. And as I think, who's this?
Hey, Jab, you know who owns ESPN, right?
Who?
Disney.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're not dealing with none of that. They're not dealing with none of that.
Yep. People are more image conscious than most people realize.
Yep.
And I don't care who you say you are. If we feel that your presence will taint us in any kind of way, you will not be on our platform. We will not be mentioning you. And she has to look at that. I don't know who's advising her. Again, I know Pap is there. He's got her where she's in that mess. As far as I'm concerned, they don't want her bringing that all that drama to their platform, because you never know what will blow up. Yeah,
I'm about to say, just look at the weigh-in, the last weigh-in that she had with Franchon Cruz. They out there fighting. I thought I was watching an episode of Baddies. You have the Zeus Network there. Why do you have Natalie Nunn there? And she's not there as like a fan, a spectator. They're there in a business capacity to watch you. What exactly are you promoting? Which direction are you really trying to take your brand in? Because for somebody calling themselves the face of boxing, I don't think I've ever seen Alicia Baumgartner with no damn Natalie Nunn, with no damn Zeus Network, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. None of these women associate with that kind of trash. Now, are they all fighting? But there is professional fighting, and then there's just out here ratchet, just running around ratchet, just acting a fool. You know, why are you the only one putting yourself in that line with them? Why?
What
You're
did
the
you
only one
just say,
online I see
Jab?
arguing with the baddies. She's online arguing with baddies. Why are you even, why are they not saying that people are above or beneath anybody else, but those girls should be the last thing that you are paying attention to. Why do you even feel threatened by any of these girls? You are a quote unquote world-class boxer. Why are you paying these girls who get out here and scrap on TV any attention?
Do you see what
But
Brian
what
is
did you
saying?
just say, Jab? You just said that
There
MVP
you go.
is doing a great job of promoting and guiding these girls' careers, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who was guiding her career?
That's the problem. Her.
See, you see the difference? Now you see
Yeah.
the difference?
Exactly. And do you see?
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
good
even,
point, Mr. Shelton. That's a
I
good
don't
point.
even see them acting like they look checking for her. Now I may have
They're
not. I
not.
haven't seen everything, but I don't see them even checking for her. And where she's gonna mess around, she's gonna find herself on the outside looking in, not because for the fact you got to play the game. You don't
Yep.
have enough power yet. You don't even have any real power yet in order to
You said
make
something.
to dictate anything other than what you call yourself.
You know what, Mr. Greg, you said something extremely interesting. About her, you know, the branding situation, about her, you know, the way in which she is traveling down the path of her career. People are extremely brand conscious, and we cannot promote you or market you in any positive light right now because of the stains that you continue to pile on yourself. Now, like I said, the personal issues, you out here messing around with Remy Ma's husband, that's one thing. People are conscious about that too. You just segregated a whole bunch of married women now, if the ones that were, you know, fans of yours. You know, you done knocked them off. You run around here talking about you can beat up men. You're knocking some of them off. So you're really, you know, shrinking the fan base that you do have. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, like you said, she's tucked, you know, comfortably under Salida Promotions, constantly fighting in Detroit. I feel like she may be afraid to test her market value outside of Detroit.
It's an arrogance, actually, if you think about it. You start to believe your own hype of what you say to yourself, first of all, and that small group of people around you who are feeding from you. I don't know much about Pat personally because I've worked with celebrities before, but I don't know him at all other than who he is. But I can say that the chances if she gets into one of these big platforms and signs and has a business deal with her, there's probably going to be I'll say there'll be a push to shed herself of him because of his situation, being married. That is a big speech. It's a big thing on the internet, on social media, and they'll probably push her. Hey, we need you to be a little more professional in what's going on, and she'll probably have to push him off if she's going to go in that direction.
Well, she's piling it on. Now there's another man coming out here claiming he's sleeping with her. So,
God, yes,
you
I
know,
saw that.
it's just piling on. That's what I said. Clarissa, it seems to be her own biggest worst enemy, you know, and that's why I posed the question: do we think that she is helping or hurting her own brand? I know a lot of people think, you know, hey, she the GOAT, she can do what she wants, but in terms of branding and in terms of business, this is horrible. You know, she needs a PR person. She needs somebody to control her social media, and she needs a fixer. If we're going to be honest, if she wants to build her brand into something respectable, she's going to need a fixer, and she's going to need somebody to get on that ASAP because it's not going the way she thinks it is.
Let me ask you a important question. Do you believe
Enigma, what's up,
Dimitri Salida is in the Clarissa Shields business or in the Dimitri Salida business?
Yeah.
It depends on what benefits her the most.
Yeah.
One day it could be Carissa for a few minutes, but it's all people will always do most of the time what's in their best interest, particularly when you're talking about this whole glamour business, this whole show business. People will attach themselves to you when it's beneficial to them, but they always are going to do what's going to benefit them first.
Yeah.
And I think when it benefits you to let Carissa make a fool of herself, particularly if I have the Zeus network, I want Carissa over there to act a fool. But if I'm over
I knew it was a reason I liked you, Mr. Greg. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
But so let me also mention to y'all, and I don't know if y'all were paying attention, but during that whole situation with Franchon Cruz and Clarissa that took place at the weigh-in, and then after the fight, that some people were floating around the idea that Clarissa checked what is his name, Leonard or Leon, whoever owns Zeus Network. So he went out and he made a post on his IG saying that they were invited there to help come in and finish, from what I understand, paying for that card. So where is the money from Salida? Where is the money from Win Records? If they had to bring the Zeus Network in, which is why they were there, had to come in and help finish contributing to that card, that tells me that there is no money nowhere over there. And then the comments that Franchon made, she said, "This is not my biggest bag. You really think you're giving me a big bag? Like that wasn't a lot of money for her." So obviously Carissa is getting the lion's share so they can attempt to scrape up this $8 million, or at least make it look like they're paying her this $8 million, but there is no $8 million. I've never even heard of a Win Records before this whole situation. So Lita already owed her $1.2 million. So where is this money really coming from?
It's smoke and mirrors. It sounds good. It's smoke and mirrors. And if Zeus was already there and did and said what they said, there's already some sort of deal in place already.
Oh yeah, for a reality show for her and Papoose.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But see, this is what happens when you Papoose, from what I understand about what I've seen about him, his forte is that he's a rapper, that he has bars. But I've never heard anything ever about management. I've never heard him having a wealth of contacts where he can talk to people who can push some buttons. I've never heard that from him. Or I think his career might have gone somewhere if he had those.
Talk about it.
Just because you really, and
when's the first time you ever heard of Papoose? Really, on the national stage. When did you hear of him?
Well, actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'd heard of him basically on when the Breakfast, it wasn't the Breakfast Club, but it was those people on the Breakfast Club. This is before.
Somebody got some bad echoing.
Is it me? No, it's not me. This is before Remy got locked up. So he was known within the rap community. So they would speak on him about his particular bars and his lyrics. That's how I came to know who he was. On a national level, you didn't start really knowing him until Remy came out of jail and was on Love and Hip Hop. That's when you started really knowing him then. And even then, if you look at
exactly,
shows are mostly the men are props for the most part. Most of the reality TV shows are aimed toward women, and the women are the ones in the forefront. Even their husbands are most of the time they're the props, and that's what Pap was. They tried to create the black love thing. They tried to make it more interesting. But nobody was really checking for him then because he had not ever come up strong as a rapper in the first place.
Right. And so to your point, hold on, but let me just address this real quick. So Flatbush, you're 100% right. I was just about to ask everybody where y'all from, right? Because if you're from or around the town, you know that Papoose is not no damn celebrity, bro. He the type of nigga you see in the Garden State Plaza and you just be like, look at that nigga Papoose. Or you see him in the American Dream Mall like, oh shit, they go Papoose. He's not the type of nigga that needs security. He's mobbed everywhere he goes. Like, you know, he's not a celebrity. So for her acting like this, that lets me know really where her mindset is and what she really grew up watching. Because to Mr. Greg's point, you never really saw a lot of Papoose outside of holding Remy's purse until they got on Love and Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? He's never been like a real popping rapper. Like I can tell you right now, I put a gun to your head, rap me a Papoose verse. 9 out of 10, I'm gonna pow you because you're not gonna know because he's never really been that like well known. Now is he lyrical in some of the things that he does and says? Yes, but he's never been a real rapper. You know, he's never been like real mainstream. He's never really blown, like you said, Mr. Greg. He's never really stood on his own too. You knew about him because you knew Remy. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know, but go ahead, Enigma. I like. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Pat was a street. He was one of those. He was a street nigga known throughout Brooklyn and all that shit. He was a hood nigga, like a hood street nigga that did shit in the street. And him dating Remy, that's how Remy started fucking with him because Remy like hood niggas, like street niggas. That's why she started fucking with him from the fucking streets. And that's what made him known to the mainstream. But he was largely, Pap always had bars. He always been a rapper. He was largely underground. He was on some underground shit. He wasn't never no mainstream artist though, at all. I think that's why Clarissa fuck with him, because at the end of the day, I think Clarissa's mainly on some, she's attracted to street niggas too. That's why she fucking with Pat. But he can't do shit for a career. That's my opinion.
Who is this guy that is claiming that he had her in his house naked?
That's Maserati Bud. That's 50's man's. That's how 50 ties into this. You know. But it's listen, that whole thing is messy. You know, she tried to clear it up, which only made it worse, in my opinion, because for somebody that you don't know, you sat there online and showed all the messages that y'all had together. But why you got all these text messages with a man you don't know? And now he's posting videos of him in your house with you on a lot of occasions. So it's not looking good. It doesn't look good. Every time she tries to correct it or fix it, she only makes it worse. That's why I said this girl needs a PR team and she needs one immediately.
They need to talk to Beyonce, because she don't respond to nothing. She doesn't try to explain anything, which I think is great. And after a while, the rumors or whatever, they die down. But it seems like, well, you can push Carissa's buttons. All you got to say anything, and she goes ballistic.
She responds to everybody online, and she don't care if you got no followers, 5 followers, 10 followers. She responds to everything and everybody. It's like, girl, you are extremely bothered. Why?
It's too bad, because I do like Carissa. I don't like what she does, and you can do, and two things can be true. You can like somebody, but not like everything that they do. I don't like how she's moving, because I wish
D1, what up?
I want the very best for her, and stop messing up what you so close to getting. You got this attention now. You've got some fights. You got a little shine. People want to talk about you, but have them talk about you in glowing terms, and that means discipline. Yeah. That means you got to do some work. That means you do have to make sacrifices. You can't just do what you want to do and expect the riches and the fame and everything that you want for your life to keep pouring forth, because there's going to be criticism regardless. But you don't have to. I always say, don't give somebody a bat to beat over your head with. Let them find their own
clean up
bat.
her image. If she wants to be this growth that she claims that she is, she needs to clean up her image, and that's just all there is to it. But let's switch topics, because I don't want to feel like we just over here attacking Clarissa.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think about the Rolly Romero? He recently did an interview with Versace, and he says that Devin Haney still has not signed that contract, but yet we got Bill out here running around talking about they're fighting, and then Sean Haney just rematched Ryan's cousin. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah, he won. We just watched the video too. We watched the video where he won. But now, they're saying that he was robbed, although last time they said that, Sean was robbed. So who knows? That whole family dynamic is heating up again, interestingly enough. But what do y'all think about Devin still not signing this contract to fight Rolly?
More soap opera stuff. What I just say? Boxing in the Karma soap opera. Days of Our Lives, The Secret Storm, Guiding Light, General Hospital. All of this stuff. You got the villains, you got the antagonists, you got the girlfriend, you got all of this stuff. So now the plot is we talking about the fight again, but ain't nobody signed to do the fight. So now we keep that going for a while. Maybe they're trying to use this delay tactic to generate more interest in the fight, and they're not doing it well. But it's still more soap opera stuff. It's this whole addiction to just the attention itself, without having to produce anything. And that's what we're getting. And we're talking about it because we're really frustrated that we're not getting what you're talking about doing. So you just keep talking about it. Bill does what he does. Rolly's going to do what he does. Devin's going to do what he does. In the meantime, we just talking about it. Once they sign, we'll be like, okay, that's the first step. Now we got to hope they still get in the ring. So to me, it frustrates the fans, and it shouldn't. Fans should be, in my opinion at least, should be excited about this fight to get ready to take place on this particular date. We should, just as we've done many times before, talk about how this one or that one is going to win. That's where we should be at, not whether they're going to sign yet, not what they're saying on social media. And that's what we find ourselves doing a lot more of. That's why I said the fighters fight more on social media than they do in the ring. And that's all we get right now. Them supposedly are going to fight.
Whose role is mandatory? Is it Shotgun Giasav? Is that his mandatory? Who's his mandatory?
I don't know.
Yeah, that Giasav is his mandatory. And so we don't know what's really going to transpire. That's why I'm kind of like, maybe Devin is going to let him fight his mandatory or what the case may be, because originally I thought that Giasav was not going to take any more step aside money. You know what I'm saying? He is the WBA mandatory challenger at welterweight. He's next in line by the rules, obviously, of the sanctioning body. And his team, they basically are not interested in waiting politely, but obviously a unification will trump, a mandatory. So I guess that's why, Rolly's like, listen, we sent you the contract, what's going on? But if these negotiations drag on long enough, Giasov's team has legitimate grounds to push the WBA to trigger that purse bid process. So we're definitely going to see what's happening.
I think that's what's going to happen. And like I said before, like Sean Haney got robbed in that first fight. I believe he won the first fight, and he won the second one. So I'm happy he redeemed himself. You know what I mean? I dig that.
I don't know if you just came up here, but let me play this. Let me play what happened after the fight with the little brother talking to Bill and them.
Shake on it.
21 though. 25. 21, and then you get the 5-pound weight class.
5-pound weight class, that's cool. I say how real boxer does it.
So you're fighting next?
I'm a real boxer, man. I'm not playing. They play with my little brother like that. I don't care about no
Bill, what do you say?
Listen. Are you going to post it?
I'm posting.
Are you going to tell the truth? I'll tell you this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, Rolly Romero is next, May the 30th. And then in September, if Ryan wants to rematch, let's do it.
What, Jacob's brother?
No.
Yeah.
Beating. Devin is going to beat the shit out of Rolly Romero on May 30th. And Ryan Garcia, September. Stop ducking. You know we've been looking to make this shit happen. Let's enroll in Vada now.
Hey, Bill, I want to fight your son.
Which one? Which one?
130.
Well, which one?
Huh?
Okay, listen. I got
17.
this. Listen, my sons are going through the whole family. We got another brother up, and he can get it too. It doesn't matter. It's us against the Garcias. It's up.
We need 3. My name's Herrera. I ain't no Garcia. I'm a Herrera. I'm just saying. They scared. He said weight cause. He wants me to go down to 121. He know I'm a bigger fighter. He's scared. He know I'll put him out.
Want that smoke? Give my son
the smoke.
Give my son the smoke. Give him the smoke. Tell him you want that smoke. That ain't smoke.
I'm just saying. He wants a weight cause. You heard it too. I don't care. I will drop down. I'll still put belts to ass. Don't play with me.
So right now they're 1-on-1 on the record book. Should they have a tiebreaker?
Tiebreaker? They could have it on Ryan and Devin's card, but before that, I want to fight Sean. I don't care what weight it's at. I'll drop it. He's my height. I'm his height. There's no problem with me dropping that
How many
weight.
fights you got so far?
I got 11 fights. I'm 17. He's 16. About to turn 17. My little brother's 14 years old, and they just robbed him. And I'm not gonna cuss or nothing.
So that's the older brother of the Herrera kid. Like I said earlier, I was unaware that what's his name? Jace Herrera. Jacob Herrera was only 14 years old and Sean Haney was 16. I was not aware of that at the time of the original fight. But like I said, we did watch a little bit of the fight. It looked like, more or less the same. I heard that he was throwing Sean ass around a lot. So who knows? But that's the older brother, the brother anyway that's around Sean Haney's age, that he probably should have been fighting, but maybe he feels like he's a little too big for him at this moment. But again, in the video, you hear Bill proclaiming that they're going to fight Rolly. Then why the hell haven't you signed the contract?
And why didn't the interviewer ask him that?
Yeah, I mean, really, this is ridiculous.
I didn't know Devin had a younger brother who was fighting.
Who?
Didn't Bill said he has another son who fights as well?
You talking about Sean Haney?
That's him. That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
Sean.
Okay.
Sean just started boxing. Though. He just started fighting.
Okay.
He just started. He was a tennis
now
player
he's
first.
boxing. Yeah, now he's boxing. He was tennis and now he's boxing.
That's why I respect him, man. I don't like how he did Tiger, but I respect the fact that he was a tennis player and said, "Fuck that, I'm gonna get in the ring," and got in the ring. So I respect him for that shit. He ain't just talk.
You know what?
So
I think that's a way for him to spend more time with Bill and Devin, because we know that Bill spends most of his time with Devin in boxing. I think that played a part in his decision as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I'm gonna be honest with you with this, man. Like, I'm not a hater. Sean Haney has potential, man. The dude got potential, man. Like, he has potential.
How many fights have you seen?
Now this is his second fight. This is his second fight, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So he hadn't had any amateur fights at all.
No.
These are his amateur fights.
Oh, these are.
He's only he's 16. He's 16.
Okay. I get it.
He's starting late,
amateur
as we can see, but.
Okay. Well, we'll see
but
how he.
I think
who's training him?
Mickey Bay.
Mickey. Oh. Well, I guess at the amateur level, it's not going to be too bad. I wish.
So here we got the footage. Shout out to Lee Jackson for the footage. I'll play y'all a little bit of it, so y'all can just get an idea of what transpired during the match.
What'd you think of last night?
Okay.
Boxing was alright last night. Gabrielle Fedora did a thing, but Kenneth Sims, man, he let me down, bro.
Yeah, we talked about Gabby too.
Oh God, that wasn't the same Barbosa that got his ass beat by Tiafimo, though. Lord. Excuse me.
Who is this?
Yeah, so this was a little bit of their match. This was at the Mike Tyson invitation. They rematched, from their fight a couple of weeks ago. So their turnaround was this was his third fight. I'm sorry, this is his third fight. He's 1-1 with Jacob, but this was his third fight in totality. He won his first one and he lost the second one, and now he won his third one again. Obviously they're saying that Jacob was robbed. All the judges were from Nevada. Who knows? You can't put nothing past Bill, but from what I can understand, like Enigma said, the boy does look like he has potential with the right training. He looks like he's maybe taking it seriously too. He's in there back to back. He's staying active. Amateurs usually do that anyway, though. But he seems like he has the fundamentals, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. Oh my goodness. We'll see how he progresses. But we're gonna obviously watch him. See what Lil Haney got. You know what I'm saying? See what Lil Haney bringing to the table. So we'll definitely see.
Little man, big, the old boy, his brother, big.
Yeah, that was a little bit of their fight. I didn't see a robbery. I don't, Jacob getting robbed.
Jacob is big,
but shit, he needs to be fighting the older brother. He is, but he needs to be fighting the other brother. You're fighting a 14-year-old, and the older brother that's 17. You should have been fighting him. Why are you fighting the little?
What weight class is he in? The weight class. What weight class?
Maybe the older brother has too many fights on.
Yeah, but what weight class is he in?
What weight class is the? He just said it. He said he's in what one. I think he's in 130, 135, maybe.
And what weight class is Sean Haney?
But I think so. But what weight class is Sean campaigning? I don't know. That's what I was just asking. Does anybody know what weight class Sean Haney is campaigning at? I want to know.
Little dude.
Find out what weight class he's campaigning, because he'll drop down. He said he'll drop down. So. He said he'll drop down, so we'll see. I think it's Sean, Sean, not the other one. I think it's just regular Sean. Are you trying to look up his box back or something? Yeah, I think it's Sean, flat, baby. I think flat, but just regular Sean. But now, Enigma, I don't know if you answered the question that I posed to the panel. What do you think will happen now that Saudi Arabia is thinking about pulling their money, their funding from boxing? From the U.S. in general, right? Because nobody seems to be talking about this. They're pulling their investment money from the U.S. What effect do you think that will have on boxing? Zuffa in particular, TKO, and Clarissa Shields, is she hurting her brand with these antics?
You talking to me or you talking to someone else?
I was asking Enigma. I thought you answered this question already. Did you answer this question, Mr.
I
Greg?
didn't
No, I
answer the
don't think you
question
did. I
about
think you.
Zufa, about the
Okay.
Saudis. This is going to be interesting with the Saudi stuff. With this, with our fearless leader beating up on a little small country, the domino effect is what we don't clearly see. Money got to be moved all around this world now. And we're scared that some of it is going to go and get into the hands of terrorists and so for them to buy missiles and bombs and guns. And also, you need to keep your resources close to home. So some of the things like sports and boxing and things of that nature may not always get a priority right now because of what's taking place in the world. I mean, where are you going to hold? Can you hold these sporting events anywhere in the Middle East and feel a strong sense of safety right now? Can you even fly over there to visit or to participate in any kinds of sport right now? So those are things that you have to consider. We got nothing to do with the politics between the countries so much, but the effect of it. Will we ban going over to that country? Will we hold up the money being transferred from that country or sending money over to? So those are things that are going to affect what they decide to do. I would suspect that they would probably pull their money out right now until things settle down, until there's some provisions put in place that makes it easier to compete internationally. It's not just going to be about boxing. Anything that has international effects or sporting events, entertainment events are going to have some kind of effect right now, be it movies or be it dance companies. All of those things are going to have some slowdown until we decide whether we're going to start blowing up stuff all over the place. And with boxing already in a flux in transition, if the Saudis pull their money out, then it will be up to the Americans here to keep everything home. How are they going to play this? That's why I had just happened to read a couple of weeks back, that HBO was considering getting back into boxing. Now, whether that's just some talk and somebody just threw out a rumor that's not true, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, those probability or possibilities now exist more so than ever before. Because what we always do here, when there's trouble like 9/11, things of that nature, our government still encourages us to do all the things that we did before, like go to boxing matches, as they did with T.O. and Hopkins. Still had that boxing match, even though the towers have been blown to smithereens. So we'll do the same thing, and somebody will benefit when there's something to benefit, when there's enough money to benefit from it, I would say. So boxing has to stay here. It won't be as international as it is for a while until all this other mess, or some of these guys from these different countries will make an attempt to stay here if they can find that they can make a little money for the 2 or 3 years they may stay here before they go back home, because a lot of fighters from different countries have done that. So we should look at all of that. We should look at how the money markets are being handled. We should look at what new restrictions and transferring of money are is taking place as this war and all these other things take place, because that's going to dictate what really happens in the next couple of months. But if they pull out, let's see who got the money to keep it going. And whoever got, as you know, he who has the gold makes the rules. So we're going to find out who got the gold to make the rules if the Saudis pull all the way out.
Hold on one second, Mr. Greg. DJ baby, maybe you need to go and watch my Read the Room with my brother Cam J. We did it with the Saudi and the EA Sports. But back then, things were circling. The conversation was circling around them pulling out of boxing. This was months ago. Okay, what does that say? The 28th of November, we reported on this, and it's still happening and it's continuing. So I don't think it's fake news whatsoever. When is the last time you've seen Turkey? When is the last time you've seen him? When is the last fight or event that you've heard him promote? Now everything is about TKO and Zuffa. Now everything's about Zuffa. I don't really hear a lot about TKO. So we have to just kind of put everything in perspective, whether it's fake news or not. I mean, Turkey al-Sheikh, and I've said this before, a lot of people gave me a lot of pushback, but I'll say it again. You cannot continuously dump money anywhere without a return on investment. And people with money know that. The first thing they ask you when you ask them for their money, what's in it for me? How much am I getting back? These people are not in the business of losing money. I don't care how much they have. That's just foolish. So if they are in a war or in a kerfuffle with our dear president or whatever they have going on, if they have to pull their funding to support their people where they are, they will absolutely do that. I don't know why people think that they won't. Sports is definitely probably one part of their business, but they're in the oil business. They're in so many businesses. They have their hands in so many things. This connects to so many things on a real life level. Like you might see gas prices go up. Certain things like that might start to take place. It doesn't only affect boxing. It will trickle down to boxing and affect us junkies, of course, but it will have real life consequences as well.
Right.
Yeah, we got this. Is our country has been down this road before. All you got to do is remember how boxing got affected right after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you had to remember. And if you go back further, how boxing was, we're going to go deep down into history. During any of the wars that we've had where there was international competition, if you go back to World War II, I guess, where Hitler was incensed that that they didn't want the black runners over there because of their superiority to Germany, even though Germany was calling themselves the master race back then. When Joe Louis beat Max Spilling the second time, all hell broke loose for him, and it also affected boxing because there were a lot of fighters at the UK and over in different parts of Europe who were never able to come here to fight because of that. So there's always trickle down effects. It's always something affects something else, affects something else, affects something else. And now that they're talking, and these guys with money, they've been playing this game forever. They know what to do and what not to do, and they know what's in their best interest. If it's in their best interest to just back up, that's what they're going to do. And they're not going to really explain it to you. They're just going to do it.
Yeah.
But
it's just interesting. It's just interesting. You know what I'm saying? In total, how it will affect us, not like, like I said, worldwide, but, the sport that we love, because, let's be honest, they have been, helping out some of these boxers who otherwise wouldn't get paid as much as they've been getting paid. But I suspect that will slow down and stop significantly soon once they have acquired all the pieces that they feel give them leverage. You know what I mean? So the same thing with the Jai Opataya. I think Dana White did that on purpose to see how far he can get with the sanctioning bodies, to see if he could get away with promoting their belts, all while saying that he's not going to be promoting their belts. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just some interesting things taking place.
People will do like I said, people will do whatever they think is in their best interest. And if you can get away with it for a while, that's what you'll do. It's just like a kid. If your mother or your father tell you not to do something and you can keep getting away with it, you'll keep doing it until you get caught.
You know what's so crazy, Mr. Greg? That is so true. And I had this thing where I was talking to my sister. I forgot what we saw. It was like on TikTok and Instagram. And it was like how parents, kids don't understand you unless you yell at them, right? Like, so it's like, can you please stop that? Don't do that again, please. Stop doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they like, oh, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's the same thing, that people do what they can get away with. You know what I mean? So
they'll
I definitely understand that.
That's the funny thing. They will take you to the line every time.
They will take you to the line. They will take you to the line.
I know, honey. I did.
Of course.
But I did.
I'm starting to see that with my daughter. It's like, girl, stop playing with me. Like, I tell her all the time, and she think I be joking. I be half joking. I be like, girl, you don't know me. You know mommy. You don't know Taisha.
How old
She's
is she?
13. She's 13.
Yeah.
And she'll be 14 in May. Oh God. Oh yes. She does the craziest things. Like, she say little things. I'm like, what you like? She like nothing. I'm like, girl, you better stop playing. You know mommy. You don't know Taisha. Stop playing. Like, you don't want me to introduce you to her. You know mommy. Stop it. I
But
blow you
that
on your boo-boos and I kiss your boo-boos. You don't want to be the reason you get a boo-boo. Okay.
right.
But this,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
but
try.
it's true. It's very true. No, they definitely will. But I feel like he did that on purpose, and it sucks for Ja Pattaya because it's like all he wants to do is be undisputed. But I feel like that is a situation that they should have carefully played out before signing to Zuffa, because under the Zuffa umbrella, the regular traditional belts don't matter. So if you go over there and you're a belt holder, like, Richardson Hitchin is possibly getting ready to do, like we see Edgar Berlanga, he ain't no champion, but like Richardson Hitchin is about to do, Edgar Berlanga, all these guys that are looking to sign with Zuffa, all they did was create another side of the street. They're not making anything better. They're not solving boxing's problems. They're complicating them, if you're asking me.
It seems that way, and the underlying thing is how much money is in it for me. And they tell you, well, you'll get this amount of money, and that sounds good. However, here's what you have to do to get that. And if you don't understand what you're about to give up and the long-term effects of it, most people are blinded by the number put in front of them, but don't understand how that number gets into your pocket. There's one thing I can offer you 10 million, but the devil is in the details. And what you have to do, and if you don't read your contract and see there's some kind of morality clause and all that other kind of stuff in there, and you've done everything you thought you were supposed to do, but then it comes out that you got a 17-year-old daughter that you had never acknowledged, and you got a girlfriend who says you beat her. Next thing you know, you're not getting any money.
Speaking of beating on their girlfriends, Mr. Greg, last thing, and I'm gonna let you get on up out of here with me. Obviously, Devin Haney has reposted the issue that took place with Floyd Schofield Sr. and his girlfriend. So now this was his response.
Ricka, you got a baby by a trick, nigga. Don't start with me. Do not start. I will get ignorant with your ass, and I'm talking about just talking. I get ignorant. You made the biggest fuck ups with chicks. You talk about spending money on chicks, nigga. I had to come.
So you didn't have enough time on the video.
I have more to say, but it is what it is. So then he posted up some old footage that he act like was shared. Anyway, I ain't even going into the details. The lawyer's gonna handle that. I told the young man to stop it before he give up some of that money. I don't know why he took the steps he took, but the lawyer's gonna deal with Devin. We don't got to worry about Devin no more on that part. It is what it is, brother. I don't know why brothers just out of the blue just started with us. I guess I can't say they jealous, but I don't know what the fuck it is. We wasn't bothering that guy. We minding our business, but he's on that side of the street, the Turkey side with the Shakur, the Keishans, so I'm calling out his stable mates, and he want to come out like that, I guess. I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, I was wondering, how did he get a hold of like where the finances go and stuff like that?
That's a lie. Number one, that's a lie. He don't know nothing about our finances. That's why I said that's defamation. Like, listen, it's sponsorships and endorsements. I make over 30 grand a month just on endorsements. Not why would we need to spend my son's purse? It don't make any sense. But that young man, to him, it do. So he's gonna deal with the attorneys. It's gonna cost him a fee, because that's a lot of laws he breaking besides privacy, invasion of privacy. You can't share some footage from somebody's household. Like, yo, what do brothers be thinking? So they want to give up millions of dollars because they don't understand the torture they put a young lady through who went through that. We went through therapy. We made it years through this. Now she got to relive that because you want to share a video of her because we had a major argument. That was my fuck up. Totally. No man should be putting his hands on no woman at no time. But I had to live that moment. Seeing it, her family seeing it. So he's got to deal with attorneys now. Because that.
So, Mr. Greg, and obviously, we were all on the live stream where, Manager Marty, and shout out to him, originally played this months ago. Why this is resurfacing now, I guess Devin, he felt some type of way of the comments that, Schofield Sr. made about, Ryan beating him or him beating Ryan, whatever the case may be. So he reposted that. Now, the only thing I'm going to ask you about this is because obviously, like I said, we saw this. Um, okay, I got your text, Cam. The only thing I'm going to say about this is, obviously we talked about on another platform, but we talked about him. Do you think he has a basis for suing? Because to me, it's like the only person incriminating is you in this damn video. So I don't understand, why you think you can sue him about posting something. First of all, you're in there looking incriminating your damn self. But do you think he has a leg to stand on this lawsuit? And then we can circle it back to Clarissa saying she's going to sue 50 and we'll close it out. But just your thoughts on that particularly.
I don't think so, because the video has already been out before on a boxing website, which is Marty. That's where I first saw it. And I kept seeing it for quite some time, unless there has been a court order that video clip is to be taken down, unless somebody pays some kind of penalty. I feel he has not a leg to stand on. Now, if Devin created some kind of narrative that was out and out lie, and he used that tape.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying that Kid Schofield is telling him that I don't know. He's saying the distribution of the funds, I guess, is what Devin called into question. He's saying that he's stealing Kid Schofield's money and trickling out to his women and all that other kind of foolishness. So, that's I guess the angle that he was coming from when he reposted that video.
If it's not true, it could be slanderous, because I haven't seen what Devin did and said. But I don't think he got a leg to stand on by using the video and way he was just talking what I just heard. But if he directly said that there was some theft of his son's monies or things of that nature, you can go down that road, but then you got to prove how were you slandered. And then, of course, we'll look at everything that's taken place between them, as well as everything he's ever done on social media, which is, some of that stuff is clown stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's a nice way to threaten, I guess. Hey, you keep doing this, I'm gonna sue you. But they sue. This is the new way they fight now, threatening to sue each other.
Talk about it.
But who gets paid right now? The lawyers get paid regardless.
Hello.
That's who gets paid, and I'm sure a lot of lawyers will not say, no, don't do that. Lawyers are interested in their own pockets first.
And their own bottom line, yeah.
Yeah, and so listen, for us to get started, I'm going to need a check for 25 grand so we can get started.
A retainer. Let me get that retainer, yeah.
Lawyers' hands are out the very moment you walk into that office to talk to them.
Yep.
They make it a phone call. That phone call is $300. If they're writing a letter to send, that's $500. So, and this is before you even get to filing the suit. Filing the suit is another thing. Depositions is another thing. You keep getting paid as long as this thing is in play. And then even if it gets settled, you get paid. So I don't know why they do this. I think it's, again, it generates activity. They think it's moving the needle somewhere, and the only needle is getting that's being moved, in my opinion, are the registers for the attorneys that's involved. Nobody looks at that, because sometimes you get in your feelings about lawsuits. You mad, you just want to strike back, but you got to know how to fight legally, because there's so many avenues and there's so many steps you have to take before you ever even get to court. You can file this year, but y'all don't get to court until maybe 2028.
Tell me about it.
You're sending letters back and forth. You're doing depositions. You're having status hearings and things of that nature. And after a while, you realize you done spent a whole lot of money, and we need to settle this. We need to put this to bed.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they do. Go ahead.
I don't know why they do that shit either. But I was going to say, just lastly, Clarissa is saying that she's going to sue 50 Cent instead of the young man who claims that he slept with her.
She's in her feelings. Poor thing. She's in the feeling. This guy posted this stuff or said this stuff. He made the claim. Now, unless 50 is saying this is true, and he's saying why he knows it's true, or he's using this guy, his video, as to back up his story, because I haven't heard what 50 had to say either. But a lot
Well,
of
he just
times,
basically said he posted a picture of Clarissa and Papoose, and he said, "What
mm-hmm,
a handsome couple." And then he said, ask Clarissa, if she was basically with Maserati, and
mm-hmm.
tell her don't lie because I have the ring camera footage. That's what set this whole thing ablaze. Um, and then obviously they've been kind of going back and forth, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just been getting so dirty. It's been getting real nasty out
See,
here.
that's the kind of stupid,
That's
and this is just what you're talking about. This is the kind of stuff she don't need to be in it.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
I tell
and
me,
you
I
know
know.
how dirty. 50 is petty. You
Oh,
know
super
he's
petty.
and he does not care. And usually he got a whole bunch of receipts to be petty with.
Yes, that's
So
why I said she should leave this alone
yeah,
because
that you
50,
should have just
50 Cent, let me tell you something. He's not the type of guy who just makes up stuff. He has
mhm.
proof with his stuff. He's not the type of man who just comes out and flats out says anything. He will turn that fire up on your ass. But here, so we're gonna watch this and then we're gonna get up out of here because we've been up here for about 2.5 hours. But I want to just show you this so we can get everybody what's
Oh
going
sure.
on.
Dog petty ass Jackson. Because he told me to play it like that, and I was gonna play it like that, play it dumb, and I wasn't gonna respond on and play with it. But since you want to record phone calls, guess what? I'm finna release all this footage. Yeah, that's right. I said I'm finna release the footage, man. Yeah, on Christmas, I was inside the crib. When you was on FaceTime, Papoose, I got the video. When she FaceTime you, guess what? I'm sitting right there in the living room at the same chair. At the same chair that I helped her get for her home gift. That bed, I picked out that bed. The bed with the TV come out of it, yeah, I picked out all that furniture in the house. The pool in the back, I can tell you how the whole crib look. Been all through the crib. She done been in my crib. She done been in my crib, butt ass naked. Yeah, ask me, Nene. She just told you on the phone. Yeah, I came out the bathroom with the towel around me, all that. She just told you that, Nene. Yeah, your best friend who recorded the phone call. And guess what? I played it like that. I knew you were recording, because guess what? You recorded me without me knowing. So therefore, guess what? I'm suing you in the state of Georgia. You can't do that. So let's take this shit to civil court. That's what you want to do? We can do that. But I'm going to release this footage when you in cars riding with me, singing, and I'm writing rap for you, me and you in the studio. Yeah, all that.
You remember this? When she was on FaceTime with you? Remember this? Where I'm at? At the high. Since we gonna play these games. Yeah. Shaking my head. For the streets. Thought she was singing to you, man. You really thought she was singing to him. Stop playing, man. I'm gonna keep releasing videos, man.
Lord.
All right, so that's basically, that's not the last one he released, but that's basically the gist of it. And he keeps dropping videos of their text messages, of their conversations and stuff like that. So this is why I brought up the issue about her and her brand damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, what the situation with Papoose, the situation with the Maserati, it's like those are things that need to be kept under wraps, especially if you are somebody who is branding yourself as the GOAT. If you are branding yourself, you're saying that you are the face of women's boxing. This is not how we need you to be representing that side of the sport. But what are your thoughts? Listening to him and seeing the video that he's dropped, obviously he knows you because she came out and said she don't even know the man. So this first video debunked that. What are your thoughts, Mr. Greg? You're an older man. You're a distinguished gentleman. What do you think about this whole situation in totality?
If I was her father, I'd be pissed. I really would. And not
Thrill
just
Hill, what's up?
But I would also be disappointed that she keeps finding herself and she's diving to me head first into this mess. In this day and age, you have to be careful how you're presented, because who you are is what you sell. And when you start damaging yourself and people don't want to buy you, but they want to talk about you and make fun of you and maybe find a way to hurt you and make money, they're going to, because people don't have a lot of principles anymore, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Some people are just not principled enough to say, I know I can embarrass her, but that's not how I want to move out here in this world. What she has done, she's already kind of told a lie if she says she doesn't even know the man when he's sitting there while she's performing in the kitchen? He's dropping, and I haven't seen other than what you just shown. I haven't seen the text messages and things of that nature. But you're digging a hole for yourself by saying you don't even know who this person is, where you clearly know who he is. He clearly has your number. How did he get the number? And why are you responding to somebody you don't know by text?
Well, let me hold on. Let me then give you the more context so you can make a more conscious decision. And I don't like dealing all this foolishness with her. But it's a branding issue at this point.
Whatever these pictures was, take them down. He took them down.
This is her sharing their text message.
Everything is lined up by threes. Okay. It's not that serious. You have your videos on my page and don't nobody feel me and you together. All I ever did was show he begging to not get these pictures taken down. Excuse me, but I'm going to report it if you don't take it down. Make you 2 other posts and replace them. Take me off your page. You're gonna mess my page up. Whatever that means. Now you never said you had a boyfriend and you know it. I took it down. You know, I 100% told you I had someone. You didn't. You already confirmed it in our text. What if I get a boyfriend? What you gonna do? That's what you say. I said, I told you I was in love with him. Who is him? Pap, you idiot. So what are you talking about? You told me that, and that's why I went back and got with my girlfriend. So why you mad? You're going to get sued for lying. I'm gonna have to put my camera for this. You hurt me first. No means no. And I'm getting.
She's doing a lot, so I'm gonna end it right there. But I'm gonna say this, Mr. Greg, right? So first of all, for somebody that you don't know, you sure have a long ass text thread with them. That's number one. Yeah. And number two, when you have your own time or people who have their own time, I'm super nosy. So I was pausing screen on every time she read those messages. She ad-libbed a bunch of that shit because those text messages did not say most of what she said out of her mouth. If you pause and read while she's reading those text messages, you'll see the conversation, and she deleted some of those texts. So, it's just getting real messy and real sticky. I really want her to pay attention to her brand, right? This is what's going to be most important. I keep going back to this, y'all, and I'm so sorry I keep harping on this. The biggest achievement in women's boxing, they're partnering with ESPN Sports, had absolutely nothing to do with her. That speaks volumes, does it not?
Say that again, because that's what she doesn't understand. The biggest deal, she should have been a part of the biggest deal. She should have been at the table with them while they're doing the biggest deal. Even if she's a junior partner or just one of the people that they want to see in the game, she was nowhere to be found.
Not even mentioned, bro. That speaks volumes to me. This is a huge deal for women's boxing, partnering with ESPN, probably the biggest deal to date for women's boxing, the biggest monumentous achievement for women's boxing. You were nowhere to be found. You weren't even a part of it, but you are the self-proclaimed GOAT. That's what happens when you label yourself and you don't let the people label you.
But it's also when you're playing yourself, in my opinion. And that's what she's kind of doing without realizing that she's playing herself, and she's going to be angry because the sport will continue in some way, shape, or form, and it can certainly continue without you. You can be on the sidelines talking about nobody ain't fought me, so they this, that, and the other, but won't nobody at a certain point care. And if you don't make people care about you, where they want to see you, where you're not doing anything to be frozen out, they're just freezing you out, that's one thing. But she's doing things where nobody wants to even touch her.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. So you can't make I don't know if she'll ever get to that point where she'll claim that she's being mistreated, she's frozen out, and so forth and so on. Right now, we see what she's doing. She's making a mess that's unnecessary. This little thing with this kid that she's online with. If you got I'm old school. If you got a man or you got a husband, a fiance, why are you entertaining this kind of conversation? Period?
Bingo.
Because I get it. This generation loves attention. That's the new crack. And that may be part of what's going on here. But you can't claim you're being mistreated while you're entertaining the person who's supposedly mistreating you in terms of what they're doing by posting pictures and talking about what you're doing. You've yet to say, I mean, if I heard this man say my woman was in my house butt naked, I would see somebody gonna have to explain that to me thoroughly. You're gonna have to tell me he is lying. And you're gonna have to prove
You're gonna have
it.
to do more than tell me that he's lying,
Yeah,
especially
right.
if this man is posting videos of him in our living room,
Yeah,
videoing you dancing, gyrating around, and singing love songs. You're gonna have to do better than that,
yeah,
baby girl. You're gonna
yeah.
have to come better.
So how she explained that to him? Yeah, I get it. He's married, so she might took the position where you still married and do what I want. Blah blah blah
But
blah.
you can't. But Mr. Greg, I was thinking about that too. You can't take that position. Not when you all over the internet. My man, my man, my man.
Oh no
It's
no,
called a divorce.
I
All
agree.
that. You
I'm
can't
just
take
saying.
that position.
Yeah,
You
I'm just
can't
saying
take
you
that
might
position.
try to pull that in the argument that would ensue, because I'd be
Oh
packing
yeah.
up. I'd be packing up
Sexy
if I'm
Kendra, what's
listening to
up?
you. Yeah, it's crazy. It is just it's so crazy and it's embarrassing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Again, I get it. People have to understand the reality of life is men and women still are treated differently in situations like this. And it's
Absolutely.
not fair. I get that part too, but it is still going to be that way. So, how you present
Absolutely.
yourself, how you protect your image as a woman, how you want to be perceived by other men, you don't want to be perceived as a bop, a trick, a jump off, all those words, a 304. You do not want any of that.
Mr. Greg, what you know about a 304? Let me
Oh,
find out, Mr.
listen,
Greg.
I'm not brand new now. You do not
Mr.
want.
Greg said, I ain't new to this. I'm true to
Yeah,
this. Stop playing
you
with
don't
him.
want. You don't want those kinds of adjectives attached to your name.
Sexy Kendra, what's up? Yeah.
Hey, sexy Kendra, how are you?
Yeah, Mr. Greg, you're 100% correct. And listen, this is not, like I said, I don't care nothing about this child, but it's her branding that's taking a hit. First of all, you've been taking L's all week. You're already on video. You're already on video, double talking. You know what I'm saying? First, you said rehydration clothes are stupid, but then when it comes to Shakur, they're smart. So you're already taking an L for that. And then days later, this comes out. It's ruining whatever brand she thinks that she's building. You know what I'm saying? So it's not conducive to what it is that she pretends that she is, or self-proclaimed GWO, all of these different things. I feel like Clarissa really needs to take a hiatus from the internet. She needs to take a minute and rebrand her. But instead, like you said, Mr. Greg, she seems to be leaning further into the nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the younger people, the social media and the internet, this is their thing. So
Yeah.
this is where they've learned how to conduct themselves, which is terrible. This is where they find they can get the most attention 24/7 if they want. So it becomes, like I said, it's the attention is the new crack to me. And as long as you can go on and you can say what you want to say and you can post what you want to post and nobody checks you, you're going to keep doing it. But you got to come off the internet and social media at some point to do business. And that's when what you did on the internet or how you're perceived will either pay off or punish you. She has to make the decision at some point, find people, or maybe there's somebody that she might listen to who said this criticism isn't just because somebody don't like you. This criticism is because it's a fact. You have to, because sometimes people who don't like you can tell you something that's beneficial. But
Absolutely.
how you decide to conduct yourself is how people are going to see you. You might think you're saying all the right things and everybody's looking at you like you crazy. And you got to ask somebody. Sometimes you have to listen to somebody else who sees your nose because you can't see your nose.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't think about that because, again, you're getting attention. Again, you're calling yourself the GWO. And there's always going to be somebody who's going to be saying, that's right, girl, go ahead. You talk your shit. You blah, blah,
All those
blah.
ghetto chicks she got in her corner. That's all you hear is them, egging her on and encouraging her to continue to be foolish. She don't have anybody in her corner that's going to keep it real with her. And the people with her, I'm sure she vanishes them because she doesn't want to hear that because she's so engulfed in this nonsense.
And the minute she loses or gets whooped on the ring, all those people who are around you who are feeding from you since the dawn of time disappear. Now you don't have. Now they can't get what you got or get what you give them anymore because you ain't got it now.
Hold on, Mr. Greg. Rick, you know, you speak a lot about her money because you said this Thursday when I mentioned her about how she has all this money, right? Money is not a replacement for morals, self-dignity, or self-respect. Because look at how much money she has and look at how people still speak ill of her. So clearly that money don't have a damn thing to do with how people see her. I can't stand when people always talk about people's money or people with money think that it's okay for them to act a fool just because they have money. No, that is nothing but a crutch to be checked. You can have all the money in the world, but if people are still spitting on your name, how much can that money really buy you? Because it damn sure ain't buying you self-respect. But Tony, what's up?
Hey T.
What's going on, Mr. Greg? What's going on?
Right. I heard you was. I saw you was sick.
Yeah, I'm a little sick. Got a sinus infection, but I just jumped on to gloat a little bit, because we team Layla Ali over here. You don't see Layla getting caught up with other men. You don't see Layla cheating on her husband. You don't see Layla going through all this ghetto-ness. And the thing about it is this: people who want to lean on, well, look at where she's from. No bullshit. There's people from way worse place than her who know how to function, especially whenever they make it. She doesn't know how to function. Her problem is she's self-absorbed. She's all about herself, and she's not as good as she thinks she is. She's
really not.
She's really just living in the era of low opposition. She's just the best of the shit, and that's the fact. Like her average opponent's age is what, 30-something years old. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And
like,
they got way less fights than her. Way less fights than her.
Way less fights. They be old as shit. Nobody fights where she fights, because she can't keep a big ass off the Kellogg's. So again, like when you really, and I'm not, look, I know I'm bashing her and I don't care because I like Layla. She should have never went after Layla. Layla beautiful. She's not. I don't care how famous she gets. But another thing about it is that girls like her don't know what to do with attention because they never had it. So when they get it, they just act out. That's the difference in her and Layla. Layla come with class because she always been beautiful. She was always good looking, elementary, middle, high school, college, etc. She ain't never had the spotlight on her, and she don't know how to act with it. And at this point, I mean, and it's not even just that, it goes past that, where she's having coaches get beat up because they don't like what they saying about her. Like, are we serious?
Yeah.
It's just her whole history. It's just straight garbage. It doesn't matter how good she is. Everything about her, around her, is just straight garbage. Even with her, I don't even care what two grown people do, but even look at Papoose. She went after a married dude. Garbage. Like, everything about her is just garbage, and that's just what it is.
Is her mother still alive?
I don't know. I know that her and her mother, had a tumultuous relationship. I understand her backstory 100%, right? Like, being essayed as a child and all of that stuff. I watched her biopic. I also watched her interview with Andre Ward. And at that particular time, I'm not going to lie, after I watched her Andre Ward interview, I was in tears watching it because I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This girl really been through it. So a part of me was starting to root for her. But every time she opens her mouth, it became less and less and less. Like, it just became less for me. And we talk about being role models. Hold on, Tony. No, you can't. One moment. So we talk about role models, right? And when I look at role models that I would want for my child, it's not Clarissa Shields, regardless of her backstory.
Right.
But Ty, I don't even believe her fucking backstory. How many lies has she been caught in? How many lies has she told that people have called her out in? I don't even believe her history.
Hold on, Tony. You don't believe her backstory? You think she made that up?
I believe everything about, like, bruh, that's just like you got rappers who come out talking about they from the hood and they from rich ass neighborhoods. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't even believe nothing that she says because she's been caught in too many lies. Even with this dude right here that you was just showing. How the fuck they texting each other if they don't know each other?
Talk about it, Tony.
Even if you want to go on the far extreme and talk about, oh, that's AI. He did some video editing. That ain't really my house. That's video. Well, then how the fuck he got your number? How you got his number? Why y'all texting back and forth? If you don't know him, how the fuck he texting you? And you showing it on your camera.
Why he in your house? Why he in your house?
Exactly.
Why they in your house?
But that's what I'm saying. So when somebody just lies and lies and lies and lies and lies, I have to quit believing everything that they say. That's just my personal opinion.
What Tony is saying. When I asked, was her mother still alive? What I was asking, I know with me, and I'm speaking as a man, I know how I didn't never want them, even though I did some things that I had to hear how disappointed they were. But I wouldn't want my mother, if I'm a man or female, to know I'm out here running around with somebody else's husband and fighting about it.
Talk about it. Mm-hmm.
Talking crap to the woman who he's married to.
Talking trash about her, talking trash to her, disrespecting her, all kind of stuff. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. I'm Mr. Greg. I'm sorry to cut you off, but let me just say this, and I'm gonna let you get back to it. I know back in the day, Mr. Greg, I'm sure you can attest to this. Back in the day, your mistress stayed in the closet. She was not something you paraded around like you was doing something. That heifer stayed in, and back in the day, didn't they used to brand you, the wife? If they caught you, they would slash your face. What's that called? Oh my God, a scarlet something.
Scarlet letter.
I was just yeah.
It's crazy. I know, and sometimes I don't care how harsh life can be, because everybody can say they've had some hard times or a hard period in their life. I have. My whole family did. We were living in a room at one time. But how you still are disciplined, how you raise doesn't have to change, because it sure didn't with us. I can remember at 15, I had a girlfriend my father liked, and I lied to her because I wanted to take another girl out that I'd seen because I had a little popularity and all that crap. My father punished me for the whole summer for that. And this is back then when being outside meant everything, going to the party, and this is the whole summer. So that's the kind of discipline that I had to come up under, even though we didn't always have a lot either. So when I see you, sometimes when I see a person lean on their hard times, and I know what they can be, that doesn't take away from what kind of character you have and how you conduct yourself. I would remember more so that I don't want anybody to think just because I was broke, because we was in the street, because we didn't have enough to eat, that I'm also this crazed person who don't care about how I conduct myself. I want you to see how well I can still conduct myself. I want you to see, just because I couldn't always go to school, there was a library that I could go to where I learned to read. Those kinds of things is what builds character. And sometimes stuff like that shows lack of character to me. That's just my opinion. So, and I don't think anybody is telling her that, because suddenly, as Tony just said, she's getting attention that she's never got before, that she craved to get because of what she had accomplished in the Olympics. And she really doesn't realize these criticisms by people here, even though there's some who's not a fan of hers, and that's okay too, because everybody's not going to be your fan, but they're accurate. We're not just making up stuff. We're looking at the stuff that you're doing. But if she doesn't see it, and if nobody's not telling her, because the people who are around her, I suspect, like most celebrities, when they take a fall, were always around people who was edging them on to do all the dumb stuff until you lost credibility, till you lost your money, till you got to the fans who were coming to see you stop coming. And then those friends are now talking about you. And in today's world, now you can go on interviews and bad mouth. I mean, you see what the young girl, what's her name? Gorilla. You see what her sister's doing. Going on podcasts and talking about her bad. But that's what people,
her family comes out too. Clarissa's family is always out here talking about it, right? And it's like, whatever. We don't know what to make of really that situation. But I'm talking about how she damages her own brand specifically, directly out of her own mouth. You know what I'm saying? So certain things like that is what I'm talking about. The deal. I just won't get over this. for you to call yourself the GOAT and you had nothing to do with this ESPN MVP deal, that tells me that you and your fan base are the only people who see you as the GOAT. The whole, conglomerate as a whole, boxing, they are pretty much ignoring you.
Well, it's not just that, but like Mr. Greg, there's a huge difference. Like everything I say is alleged because we know how Shields likes to get. So everything I said was alleged. So we're gonna say alleged moving forward. But check this out.
Right.
The difference with Glorilla and her sister is this. Her sister mad because Glorilla's not paying all her bills. Well, I understand that we might be blood, but it's not my job as you a grown adult for me to take care of you like you my child. So that's completely different. Like even Glorilla, the way she handles herself, talks, there's some type of decor, there's some type of elegance to it. There's, regardless of how she raps in her interview, she's completely different. Just like when Nicki Minaj was saying everything nasty that she was, but when she does interviews, talks to people, there's a way that they carry themselves, a professionalism, so to say. She lacks all of that. She lacks all of that. And the thing about it is, it's not even just that she lacks that, it's the fact that when all you do is talk about yourself in every scenario, every situation, and just you, who the fuck want to be around that?
The person who's
narcissism.
The person who's benefited wants to be around it, T. If you benefit,
the leeches that disappear the minute it runs out.
Right. That's what I was just saying. And see, when I was talking about the thing with Gorilla, I was more or less alluding to the fact that now everybody will run to social media if it benefits them to badmouth somebody else, particularly if you close to them, and you have to be aware of that now. That's why you have to be careful when you're on that journey to fame and fortune, who you have around you and who you keep around you, because family can do you in, friends can do you in,
and everybody can go. Everybody can't go. That's the thing. Everybody can't go, y'all. When you elevating yourself and you moving to certain levels, everybody can't go. I was on the phone with one of my friends the other day, and we were talking about this, and we were talking about compartmentalizing certain people, right? Like, so if I have to go to like a ratchet place or something like that, I'm taking my cousin with me. That bitch got 3 charges. She don't care about fighting you. She don't care about thumping. She don't care about nothing. I'm taking her. But if I'm going to like a business meeting, I'm taking my friend that already owns businesses, who's already had a couple of SBA loans. I'm taking her. You don't take the ratchet one to a business meeting and the business meeting to a ratchet one. You have to compartmentalize. If you're going to have these people in your life, you have to compartmentalize them. And it may be sad. It may be like, damn, that's not right, whatever. But it's for your benefit. You cannot have certain people in certain situations, right? Like your business friends shouldn't be around your ratchet friends. They don't mix. And you don't want either side of them to know that you mess with either side of them. Like, listen, you can see me getting my money up. You don't know what's going on with me. You may think whatever. If you ratchet, you probably think I'm scamming or whatever. But mama over here making business moves. And I'm talking to people that handle business, that have been handling business for years. You know what I'm saying? When I go to certain situations, I'm going to take certain people with me. She has not learned how to compartmentalize. She just has an umbrella with nothing but yes people around her that encourage her to do stupid ratchet things. Like I said, this new partnership or this new deal that she supposedly has with the Zeus Network, who advised you on that? As a professional boxer, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 19 world champion, who advised you to go the Zeus route? Who did that?
Aren't they the network that has all the ratchet shit on it anyways?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Look, when I look at her peers, and we don't just have to say like the Michaela Mayers or like the Katie Taylors, but when you look at like Serrano, when you look at like Alicia Bumgarner,
the face.
Well, no, what I'm just saying is like Alicia Bumgarner. None of them other girls in boxing get into any of this drama outside of her.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Even what's her name coming up big? Dubois' sister. You don't see none of this.
Caroline.
Yeah, Caroline. And she can fight.
No.
She can fight.
Yeah. Yes, she can.
It all comes down to character, T, and who you're around.
Yeah.
And right now, who is really benefiting from what she's been doing so far? That's all you gotta look at. Who's cashing checks? Who's always smiling and grinning everywhere she is? That's all you gotta look at.
But you know what? To be honest and to be fair, she was doing all of this way before him. It's just now the spotlight is on her because of that triangle, the Remy, the Papoose, and the her
Right. That's what
triangle.
I'm
That's
saying.
when it really got highlighted. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because if we keeping it a stack, like I said, if you're not from the area, you know the tri-state area, people from the tri-state know Papoose is not a star, bro. That's not a nigga that you mob in the mall. That's not a like you see him and you be like, look at this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not a celebrity, but she thinks he is. You know what I'm saying? So for that angle, and the only reason that she even thinks he is because his approximation to his wife, who is an actual star.
Yeah. He's
Well, I
semi.
mean, Papoose is known in like the streets, but that's
Yeah.
where it ends. Like that's it. Like in New
Yeah,
York,
exactly.
everybody knows who Papoose is in New York, but outside of New York,
Exactly.
he unknown. The dude, he can write,
No.
but he's trash at rapping. Like the dude is trash. He's like a Timu Jay-Z when he raps. Is horrible. So
But
he never,
Tony, that's
like,
what I just said. If you're not from the tri-state, you think that Papoose is a star.
Yeah.
But us from the tri-state, New York, New Jersey, we know that nigga's not no star. He ain't no
Yeah.
celebrity.
I mean, I would say he's lesser known than Mano, and Mano's not really that known.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
So it's like I don't know, but I'm gonna hop off. Fever's getting me the sickness.
All right, baby. Yeah,
So
I
I'm gonna
know.
listen from
My
the
throat is getting a
sideline.
little
Like I said,
scratchy.
the shit. Everything's alleged. These are all alleged.
Of course,
Everything
all
we saying is
alleged.
alleged.
Listen, honey,
You
I
take care of
done
yourself,
scrapped and
Steve.
scraped for my little 1K subscribers, honey. You better not shut me down. I want her ass. I don't care if I could beat her or not. You better not. No, but Mr. Greg, thank you so much. Give us some words of wisdom while we get up out of here.
I would just say, because I'm going to get out of here myself, is for anybody who might be listening, pay attention to who you have around you. Pay attention to how you conduct yourself, especially if you have children who are watching you, who are going to emulate things that you do, not what you necessarily tell them to do. They're going to do what you do. If you're trying to move forward in this life, as hard as it can be for us, have character regardless, and watch how other people who are being successful just in their lives, not necessarily financially, just having a successful life. You watch and you mimic the kind of things that those people are doing and make sure it works for you. And while we sit here and we watch these boxers spiral out of control, and yeah, we criticize it because we're standing on the sidelines, so to speak. They're doing it in front of us. That's why we're talking. If you want people to talk about you, give them good things to talk about, period. I don't care who you are. And I'll leave it at that.
I appreciate you, Mr. Greg. I definitely do. And I always appreciate your words of wisdom. We got to exchange numbers so we can talk. I gave you my new email, right? Because I know you were still emailing my old one. But nevertheless, we'll get it together and we'll keep in touch because I want to pick your brain about a few things. But thank you so much for stopping by. Always.
Well, it's always good to come and chat with you. I'm getting ready to go out to a little dinner and kick it a little bit for a minute.
Okay.
Right.
I see
y'all
you.
Be good. I'll see you next
Old
time.
school player. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Thank you, Mr. Gray.
All right, dear. I see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, so we made it through this live chat, me sick and everything. I appreciate y'all pulling up. I know this is not my normal day. I was feeling so under the weather yesterday. I woke up feeling like I told y'all, Bill Haney. I don't know what was going on, honey. My mother thought she was turning into a transformer. Voice was so damn deep. But this is a great conversation, y'all. Listen, we're not here to bash anybody. And Rick, you my nigga, always and forever. Rick is my guy. We have differences of opinion with, for what I can see, only two boxes, and go figure, Bud and Clarissa. But I respect your opinion and I respect your point of view for sure. Don't think I don't. A little pushback is good for the sport. But I definitely respect and appreciate your opinion. And I appreciate your viewership, But Clarissa needs to get herself together. Regardless of how much money she makes, she needs to spend it wisely, by getting herself some real help because she out here looking silly. And I know some of y'all may not agree, but that's just the facts. Things are getting worse by the day. This whole week she's taking L's, maybe not in the ring, but she's taking L's socially. And she needs to really gather herself, unless this is the road that she wants to go down. There's nothing more dangerous than a person who sees nothing wrong in their behavior, especially when they're acting erratic. So I just want to put that out there. And we're not against you, sis. We want you to do better. You are a black woman, in the sport of boxing, and you are one of the biggest names, but unfortunately not for the reason that you think. So we just want you to do better. We want you to get it together. You deserve love. You deserve praise and attention. You deserve all of that. But you have to be willing to put yourself in a position to get that. And sometimes that comes with sacrifice, So, we just wish you the best, and we hope that you get it together for real, for real. Me personally, I hope you get it together. I'm highly critical of you. That's just because I expect more from a GWOAT. If you're gonna label yourself the greatest woman of all time, that's a high standard, boo, and you ain't living up to it. That's just the facts. And until you do, I'm on your helmet. And that's just what it is. I appreciate everybody for coming out and listening to my little sickness, child, my little coughs and my little everything else. I'm sniffing, but trust me, it's not that powder. I'm trying to keep my nose from running down my damn cheeks. I'm gonna get it together, and I promise y'all I will be better by our next live. I love and appreciate all of y'all. Make sure y'all sub to the channel if y'all have not already. Make sure y'all like, comment, everything else, whether you agree or disagree, it's all open for conversation. I'm not that type of content creator where if you disagree with me, you got to go, all that other shit. Just be ready to stand on what you say, because I'm definitely going to push you. Believe that. But I appreciate everybody for coming out, and I'll holler at y'all next time. Mother going to take some NyQuil, honey, and lay down, try to get her voice back. Love y'all.